Good evening, everyone. I had to honestly re-look to where the camera was. I'm so used to it being over there. But welcome to the CPA-fol podcast, episode 19. It's been quite the year, which we're going to get into a lot of the year.
Yes, it has.
Today. And as you can tell, I hope you all got a nice little peek on the starting soon screen. We're in the Firebird lounge. I've kind of dubbed it
the
that.
lounge.
It flows so nicely. It's like, Penguin's Iceberg Lounge. It's just Firebird Lounge.
I'll take it.
So
it's pretty cozy.
It is cozy. But we're in the Firebird Lounge for this episode. I said it in the beginning, but I might have to move in here after this because you were even commenting this looks good.
Just scooting in.
This looks amazing. I'll just film my stuff in here and then be out. So. But no, so glad to have you willing to have the episode here today.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
We had a little bit of a weekend trip before, like I said in my short, before things get too crazy. So, yeah, as you can tell by the video, we're just going to be getting into how 2023 was. Crazy year for so many content creators, so many people, ourselves included. And then we'll look into 2024 just to see what's coming in the future. What we both have planned, which, plans are made, but don't always happen. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm kind of interested to maybe make this an annual thing.
That could be
We'll
fun.
see. What comes to mind is, have you ever seen those, I think it's like Vanity Fair, Billie Eilish, where she looks at her interviews
from
each
the past
year
Yes.
of the questions and how your answers change with those questions.
I like that. That's a fun idea.
We could maybe look back at portions of this and see, I thought we were going to do this, but we ended up doing this, and it was really cool. So, I don't know. Maybe just ideas floating around. So, we'll see how that pans out next year. So many people in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Of course, we have the ever-faithful Scott Davis.
Welcome, Scott. Thank you for becoming a channel member today on my channel. I greatly appreciate it. I just had to shout you out for that because I saw that come through, and I was like, yes.
He's literally been
Scott's a member.
Talking about it all morning. I kid you not. He's like, I really want Scott to be a member on the channel. And finally, was it last night?
Yeah, I was mentioning it yesterday, and then Scott signed up today. I was like, yes.
Yeah. So shout out to Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Literally the hype man for every
stream,
every YouTube Lego community out there.
Yeah.
You're like that. You are that guy.
Appreciate you, Scott.
You are that guy.
Appreciate you.
So we do appreciate you. Of course, we've got Mrs. CPA in the chat, the resident manager, making sure all of you interns are in line.
Of course.
Which is going to be very important this busy season, of course.
Welcome, Cooper. Good to see you here, too.
Cooper, I would call Cooper hype man number 2.
Hype man
I do
number
see
2.
you. You're in so many chats. It's always cool to be like, hey, Coop, what's up? In the ACOB and M&R Ryan stream, stuff like that.
True.
So great to see all of you in the chat. Let's see, so far we got steady crowd. I'm hoping to see a couple other people pop in here because I do want you all to have an opportunity to input and let us know how you saw 2023 go, of course. And as always, since this is a new setup, if you hear any audio issues, please feel free to shout those out.
Please let us know.
Anytime, as I'm sure Caleb knows, you have a new setup, anything can happen.
Yeah. We had to scoop a new mic today and spent so long waiting in line at Guitar Center, and it was really obnoxious. But we made it. We're here. That kind of led to the delay of the stream, to be honest, was the Guitar Center thing. But we're here. It's fine.
I didn't even tell. I was going to tell you upstairs that I got a notification from Guitar Center on Instagram saying, tell us about your recent visit.
Oh.
It was so weird.
Should give that a 2-star.
I said disappointed, and it took 25 more minutes than it should have.
Yeah,
so
it did take too long.
Yeah. Even though I stayed in the car the whole time.
Yeah, you got to just chill.
So, and audio sounds crispy. That's what we like to hear.
Very nice.
So, I guess that's what happens when you have two
of these, yeah.
Very nice microphones and a nice camera to boot. So, all right. Let's see what... I've got a whole docket here because I want to make sure that we stay on track. Want to stay on target with our plans for today. And, of course, we could probably go for forever. So,
it's probably true.
We'll see where the night takes us. Don't want to spend too much of Caleb's time. And I do have to go back home tonight.
Yeah, you got to drive.
We'll see how that goes. But, 2023... We'll start looking back first.
All right.
So start us from the beginning of because you started in 22.
Yeah.
2023 was kind of partway through, you realized this is the ramp up year. This is where I'm kind of
Yeah.
almost fully committing.
Just getting into it and stuff. I feel like 2022 was kind of just trying out different types of content, and a lot of 2023 was as well, to be honest, just seeing kind of what hits and what people are enjoying and trying to figure out what people want to see from me and what I can offer that's different too from other Lego YouTubers and stuff. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy year because I think I didn't expect to spend as much time working on content and also getting as involved in the community as I've been able to. That's been honestly a highlight, just meeting people. I mean, I know we're going to talk about BRICKWORLD later, obviously. Meeting people at BRICKWORLD was super fun. And then, yeah, just seeing like response to videos that I've been able to make, but even like just interacting with people on other streams, going on podcasts like this and talking with people in other comment sections and stuff has been a lot of fun. I feel like I've been in the community long enough now that there's like resident names that I can recognize of people who are around and hanging out and stuff. So that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, 2023 was an interesting year just because I started out the year doing weekly videos. That was kind of the goal. I was doing 2 videos a week in 2022 and then moved to 1 video a week in 2023 and eventually to like 1 video every 2 weeks as I kept like trying to ramp the quality and get better editing and upping the gear and moving from 1080 to 4K. You know, every single jump you make like that causes things to take longer, but also like trying to do better storytelling, better scripting, and you know, the more things you add on, the longer it takes to make a good piece of content. And so that's been a really interesting progression, and it's really fun. Like we were just looking back last night at some of like my first videos.
That's always fun to do.
Just seeing the difference is pretty crazy. I'm very happy with like the progress that I've been able to make, and I hope to look back next year at the stuff I'm making now and say, I could have been doing that better. Yeah. I feel like it's getting better now, but I really want to see like a similar amount of growth in production value and offering value to people who are watching the content. You know, people have limited time. You don't want to waste their time. You want to make it worth their time. And so, yeah, it's been an interesting thing. Lots of mindset shifts and stuff too. But I guess broadly speaking, that's 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, you said so much there. I had my mind drilled in on something, and then you're just throwing just so much
jumping all
because
over.
I mean, that was essentially what you said. That was 2023 was kind of figuring out what you're doing with your channel, even what I'm doing with this new channel, where I want to go. Like I thought, I'm gonna try and do some reviews, maybe try and do the like you talked about, do the Jang thing where you do the web reviews and stuff like that. But then I really like this aspect of talking with other creators, other fans, you in the chat, of course. And partly I think it's because this is kind of my job as a public accountant, as a CPA. Spend a lot of time, and some of you might not think of like, accountants, you spend your time talking to people? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
But part of my job is going to businesses and making sure that they're doing things right. So to do that, you have to talk to people and figure out what they're doing. So a lot of that is interacting, communicating, listening, analytically listening, being able to retain that sort of information. So this is basically like my job, but I'm talking about something that
completely different
is my hobby, like full-time hobby, I guess, if you want to call it that. So it's kind of cool how I didn't immediately connect the two. I was like, I really like interviewing people. I really like watching podcasts where they interview people. And I know we talked about being a student of YouTube. Yeah. And I guess in a way I've indirectly been a student of how to interview people by watching really good podcast interviewers. I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Rosenbaum.
I'm not.
So he's got a podcast where he was one of the first. He started like in 2018.
Okay.
Where he was interviewing celebrities. So it was even pre-COVID where a lot of the celebrities were like, I could make a podcast from my house and make a chunk of money for doing like nothing. So watching him has been huge, just how he interviews. And I kind of want to take that to the next level as much as I can. Of course, buying equipment like this would definitely help take it to the next level. But baby steps, of course.
Yes, take it in stride.
Yeah, exactly. And then even, figuring out what to do with that in 2024, and then BRICKWORLD kind of getting ahead of schedule going into 2024 already.
Well, looking back, right?
But like, so looking back at 2023, performance highs and lows.
Wow.
Like, looking back at your mind, what can you see as, man, this is obviously there's one really, really big one.
Yeah.
For you. And then
we're talking specifically like content performance highs and lows.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try kind of drill into that and figure out like, oh, these were the wins and these are maybe some of the losses and just how those evened out the year.
I mean, I think that for myself, it was interesting kind of seeing what videos would do well versus not do as well. And I feel like hindsight, you learn a lot from how content performs, what does well, what doesn't do as well. How long are people watching something for? Are they actually interested in even clicking on it in the first place? I feel like that's something I've messed around with a lot. Like I will make, 5 thumbnails for a video and swap them out and test them and see what's resonating with people, which for those of you who make content, the new thumbnail A/B testing feature that's going to be coming early this year, I'm so excited for that. You wouldn't even believe. Like I am so ready for that to come through because I'm doing it manually now. I upload a video and if the thumbnail's not hitting, I'm sitting there for a couple hours just swapping it, looking at the metrics and kind of going back and forth and trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. And so anyway, doing some of that kind of stuff helped me to get some videos to become successful. And packaging has been such an important thing that I've learned a lot about. How do you present a piece of content in a way that, hopefully you can get people to click on it and be interested. So I would say for this past year, obviously I've had some videos that have done quite well. Like some of the mech related videos have done very well. Army building videos, which the army building videos is one of those things that a lot of people do that. I was in early on the 7-day challenge things. I was not the originator of that idea, but I was in early on it, which I think helped. But, now every Star Wars channel has like a 7-day
some kind of challenge.
Yeah, 7-day challenge of buying droids or clones or whatever. The mock building challenges were a lot of fun. I would say like the 7-day clone based video that I did, that was like a really good learning experience. It was a video that I planned for about 2 months and I worked with some friends to make that happen, and it's done really well. Had a great time doing it. And just a good learning experience of like a solid challenge video. I think I figured out kind of like a little bit of a formula there, but even going into this next year, I'm trying to evolve that. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that I would say those are some of the highs. Lows, like I wouldn't say, I don't know that I'm particularly like upset about how some of the videos have performed. Some videos have not performed well, and that is frustrating initially. You put a lot of time and effort into something and it doesn't perform. It's like, oh man, like I just spent 2 weeks on this and it's not doing well. But I think with everything that I make, I try and learn from it. And so with some of the videos that I've made that haven't done as well, I try and analyze why. Was the idea not as good as it could have been? Was the packaging not as good? Is this just something that I was interested in doing? Was I thinking about what people want to even see? And some videos are just going to have not as broad of an appeal. That's just the nature of things. So yeah, I would say there was, I did a video where I interviewed, I think 13 people at BRICKWORLD about mock building. And I found that to be a super interesting topic. I know the people who watched that video enjoyed it, but it only got about 6,000 views, which is low for the performance of other content around that time. It was lower. And so I was a little bit bummed about that, but I enjoyed making the video and I learned from it. And, so again, I think like it's really easy to get frustrated and to kind of sit in what you might consider a failure, but really like audiences are brutally honest with their feedback, and the feedback is, did they watch? Did they engage? Did people like it? Did people not like it? And it's not personal. It's never personal. There's unlimited options of things to watch on the internet. So really like it's just trying to come up with how can I make stuff that's worth people's time. Yeah. No, absolutely. That was a long-winded answer, but
And I mean, all 100% true. 'Cause like you mentioned in your, before we're essentially fighting for everyone's time.
Yeah.
And time is not infinite. We all have a limited amount of time, trying to figure out what interests people the most, what catches their attention, what is quality, how much like I guess you could say the quality to what makes the output worth it, because you could spend so much time on a video and the output might not even be worth it, because some random person who's just, they just want a good video, they're not going to notice all the little things that, if I would have did this. But then there's also, I know you can maybe tend to get in the weeds on that of like, well, I'm going to do that anyways, because I know that it's there or not there, and that makes a difference to me, which is also very important to take into consideration.
Yeah. You want to be proud of the stuff that you're making.
Exactly. But then for me, with some highs and lows throughout the year, I had some videos recently where we talked about them last night, the top 5 holiday sets, and then basically how to clean dirty Lego that you buy on Facebook Marketplace or wherever. And I spent a lot of time editing both of those. So for me, that's like 4 to 5 hours each video.
Yep.
So trying to pound that out in an evening, and when I probably should be exercising or spending time with my wife or something like that. So it's like, man, I spent a lot of time on this video. It should do well, right? It should do. So, stuff like that. And then the video gets 300 views or so, and it's like, man. I thought it was. Sometimes you get a feeling of like, this is for me with 1.4 thousand subs. Like, all right, this is a 1,000 view video. I know based on other videos I made, this should get 1,000 views. For you, maybe that's like 50,000 or 100,000 or like what's kind of your metric for that?
The metric, I keep bumping it, right? It's because like, you base it off of recent content. What's up, Brad? Good to see you here.
Yes. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
So for me, like
very clean.
The goal with videos now is like, how can I get a video to hit 100K? That's like that's
your metric.
That's like my ideal baseline, which is pretty ambitious given the age and size of my channel. And for a while, I feel like August through end of year, I was hitting that pretty consistently with almost everything. But there's a couple of videos, like I did a video looking back on 2007 Lego sets. And that was a video that I really enjoyed. Reception for people who watched the video, people really liked it, but it was a more narrow audience available for that video because you're appealing to people who have nostalgia for a very specific period of time. And in hindsight, I understand that. I was trying to make it broad appeal, so even if you're a kid who like was born after that, you could still watch it. And I had some people comment being like, "I was born in 2007." And I'm like, "Yeah."
It's like, "Oh, I feel
old now." That's fine. But yeah, I think with something like that, you look at it and it's like, well, at the end of the day, that's probably one of the videos I had the most fun making in the last year. And so I'm not upset about the performance. It is what it is. I did a sponsored video for Epic Games, which was building a Fortnite base in the game and then building it in real life. And I only had 3 days to make that entire video. And that was insane because it was like 16 hours of mock building on a Saturday, doing gameplay on Friday, and then Sunday was all editing up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'd work the next day. And so... yeah, that was a rough one to make, and I really wish I had longer to work on it because I would have structured it differently and everything. So it didn't do as well as it could have just because of the time constraint. But I'm still glad I was able to do it. It was a good learning experience. It was good to get it out. I just wish I had like 2 weeks to make that video because it could have been so much better. But
yeah, and I mean, like you said, some of that stuff is of course out of your hands.
Yeah, that was out of my control.
Can't do anything about it in retrospect. I mean, maybe in those kind of situations, and of course we've got kind of brand deals and brand collaborations on the docket to talk a little bit about.
Yeah.
Is that something where you could have come back to them, or they say, "Oh, if you want to do this, we need a video by Monday or Tuesday"?
The problem is that the brand agency that I was working with on it, they brought the deal to me late in the game. It was for like a campaign that they were pushing out across multiple platforms and multiple channels. And so it's either be a part of the campaign or don't be a part of the campaign.
Gotcha.
And so in that aspect, it was just like, all right, just got to run with it and do what they're requesting. So yeah, unfortunately that's what it was.
Yes, absolutely. So highs and lows, talked about that a little bit. For myself, highs would be video wise,
Yep.
I guess we can focus on that because there's a lot of.
I think we can talk community when we get to the BRICKWORLD section, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna try and like pull all the highs from BRICKWORLD into this conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just
We're just gonna rabbit trail everywhere.
that's too much. So for me, it was really finding that, and you nailed it on the head. As you know, we talk a lot about content creation, how to package, which I feel like you could do a whole seminar on packaging videos, and really as simplistic. If you've seen any of my videos, you know it's a pretty simplistic format. It's not to show too much behind the curtain. It's about as easy to make as it looks, as long as you have it set up. And like I've got the OBS stuff set up. We're in OBS right now, so as long as you got that stuff set up and know how to do that, it's literally just clicking start record and talking for 10-ish minutes and then uploading to YouTube. So I've curated that format. Of course, it's not like the view, it's not evergreen. Those views are going to jump to a good video, will jump to 2,000 and then die just because no one cares about the Speed Champion, a web version of a web review of the Speed Champions when the Speed Champion is going to come out soon.
Right. Yeah.
So getting those, but I do really like the newscaster style. One of my images for the channel, because I had the handheld mic and I had the brand,
the logo box on it.
The logo box on the mic. One of my visions for the channel was to kind of have that like the weatherman, where I'm like pointing on the green screen over here, pointing over there.
Yeah.
So I've pared that down a little bit to be more feasible and easier to manufacture those videos. But then also getting back to packaging. I've had a couple videos where, and it's always, obviously it's good for content creation when there's controversy. Yeah. That feeds, what's the word? Not innovation, that feeds engagement. Yeah. Feeds engagement on videos. So I had a couple where the Speed Champion's price hike, packaging that with another, in all caps, another price hike for Speed Champions. For the Knuckles mech, do we have a mech problem? Of course, I borrowed that from Caleb's video. It is interesting, like problem. all
of these like things where you could package it as a positive thing versus a negative thing really makes a huge difference. Like my best example of that I can think of is when I made my mech video, the first mech video that I made, which should cross like 900K views soon, which is wild because I made that video in like 4 days. But it was not a lot of sleep in those 4 days, but I did make it in 4 days. When I put that video out, for those of you who don't create content, on the YouTube Studio app, they give you a ranking. Welcome, Lego Man 360. Good to see you here. They give you a ranking in the YouTube Studio app, which shows you out of your last 10 videos, where is your current upload performing based on how long it's been live. And when I put that mech video up, I put it out and it was an 8 out of 10. Which is very low in your ranking. Yeah,
that's
and I called the
video
like
kind of territory.
Yeah, right. I called it I upgraded Lego Star Wars mechs, which I thought it was a positive spin. I took them and I made them a little bit better. And when I changed that packaging to say I fixed Lego Star Wars mechs, then it just took off. And I think there was a lot of negativity surrounding the mechs, so that just fed into that, and people then we're like, I'm interested in watching this. So it's pretty crazy how just a simple shift like that can affect things. And, you can look at your content that may have underperformed in the past. You switch a title. I know, like, just to shout somebody out, SW Bricks, he will make so many thumbnails. He will change thumbnails on videos that have been out for months, and they'll pick up.
Wow.
He made a Lego City video that bombed on his channel, changed the thumbnail, like, I don't know, 2 months later, and it's got like 1 million views now. It's crazy how much all of that affects things, but it just goes to show that like the amount of time and effort that you put into packaging, it is important. You should come up with options. You should A/B test things and check with other people, ask for feedback, ask for opinions, because it really does make it such a huge difference on stuff.
Yeah. And all of you watching, if you are a content creator or an aspiring content creator, you should be taking notes right now, because this information being presented to you freely, that shouldn't last long, because Caleb you do so much research and you do so much behind the scenes. Like you said, so many people said you're a student of the game, student of YouTube. Like you've told me, you watch so much YouTube
I watch
content.
a lot of YouTube,
and he
yeah.
doesn't have YouTube Premium.
I know.
I'm like, just get YouTube Premium.
This was a conversation we had yesterday because we're like watching some stuff and my ads were popping
And
up.
I'm just
and
like
everything.
sitting there, like, because I have YouTube Premium and I probably watch YouTube a quarter as much
Yeah.
as you do. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm not used to this.
I just don't want to pay for it, but I know,
It's
like,
so
I was
worth
saying that
it.
the amount of time that I would save from watching advertisements would probably be worth the cost of YouTube Premium with how much YouTube I consume.
Yeah. So type a 1 in the chat if you think Caleb, if someone donates a super chat saying Caleb needs to get YouTube Premium,
You gonna
I
make
will
me buy it?
forward it to him to get that. So
Oh my
we need to
goodness.
get him on YouTube Premium.
I do need to get it.
Or you could become a joint member.
Yeah.
After you become a joint member of Lego CPA, you can go become a joint member on his channel to help him get that YouTube Premium, because it's a
fair.
business expense, right?
That's true.
Really?
That is true.
Come on. So, I was so fired up about that. I kind of lost our train of thought. We were talking about, performance,
Mm-hmm.
wrapping, how you wrap your videos and how you push them to the audience. We got a couple good messages in chat. Jake, one of my buddies from school, from college,
yes.
said, saw your mechs, looked impressive. But yeah, YouTube algorithms are all about thumbnails and titles.
100%.
Yeah.
And average view duration. Can't neglect that. Average view duration is huge.
Yep. And I mean, if you just practically think about it, you could make the best video out there and it could still pop off with a bad thumbnail and a bad title.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't at least make your video appealing or to draw people, like people say, you eat with your eyes first
Mm-hmm.
and then your mouth, because you see the food. And I'm sure they've done studies and studies upon, like, if food looks really bad, X percentage of people are less likely to blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So the packaging is insane.
100%.
And I've learned that from him a lot. I've learned so much from you. My thumbnails, I like to scroll through my videos and just see how my thumbnails have progressed and how much quicker it is to make thumbnails now that I am not making thumbnails in Microsoft Word.
I can't believe you were doing that. That's wild.
Hey, if you guys are on a budget and you have Microsoft Word, it's super easy. I will let you all know how to make thumbnails in Microsoft Word.
Should make that a members tutorial, making thumbnails in Microsoft Word.
Dude, that could do really well.
That's wild.
That could do really well.
That's wild.
And I'm the guy. So, Tyler, it's good to see you in the chat. Thanks
Welcome,
for stopping
Tyler.
by.
He was giving me a hard time the other day because I'm always sitting like straight on at the camera, right in the center of the frame, and he's like, "You want to just like lean back in your chair a bit? I feel like you're always sitting so like
It's true.
perfectly." It's just a good chair. What can I say?
It is a good chair.
What's up,
Let's
Shy?
see. Got Lego Empire.
Welcome.
Good to see you in chat. Shy, of course. Who else we got new in here? Dude, yeah. Word thumbnails.
Word
That's
thumbnails are
it.
fire.
Yeah, Caleb does have perfect posture.
I really
In
don't.
his-
It's the chair.
It is the chair.
It's the
if
chair.
you saw the chair, it looks like General Grievous is behind him, like
Just
cupping his
the spine.
scapulas. All right, back on track.
Back on track. What's our next topic here? What do we
Next
got?
topic. No, that's the next topic.
Next,
We're
next.
to our second sub point.
Okay.
So we've got video editing, which we kind of touched it a little bit.
Yeah.
The video editing growth, how you figure out your style.
Mm-hmm.
Because watching your videos, you definitely have a style, and I can kind of tell when you're out of your element. Like, for instance, with the Fortnite,
Yeah.
the video game capturing was just, it's just not, like, you're not a gamer. a
Here,
YouTube
well,
gamer,
okay,
so-
I'm not a YouTube gamer, but to my defense, I will say I was like 4 hours asleep trying to,
There were extenuating circumstances.
be entertaining playing a video game, and I'm just like, I'm so tired. So that was the whole time constraint thing. It is what it is,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
all good.
But video editing style, how you've
Yeah.
formed that, because I think
Mm-hmm.
really in this year is when you've kind of hunkered down with your
Yeah.
video editing in general.
No, it's definitely one of those things that's changed quite a bit, because initially I was not really doing anything with any motion graphics at all. Nothing with, it was super basic, just cutting. And I think like the two big things that made a difference for me, late 2022, I started scripting my videos. Now I script everything. That made a huge difference in video performance. And then the editing, I think I've been slowly trying to ramp it up over time. I've been inspired by actually Shy's editing. It kind of inspires me because it can be a little fast paced, but it doesn't feel like it's screeching at you. And using tasteful sound effects, I think, is an important thing. And so I think that's something where I feel like I've learned from watching Shy's content, and I've really been enjoying seeing his evolution as an editor too. Especially in the podcast, it's so clean and it's just nicely put together. But I think there's a lot that can be learned. Even watching the faster paced content from like TD Bricks and B3 and all of these other guys, I think there's even something to be learned from that of like, okay, it's faster paced. How can I make my content a little bit quicker, but not feel like it's like screaming at you? Because I want to make content that could be watched by a wide range of people. And so that's kind of where like making the more brightly colored, eye-bleedingly saturated thumbnails can pull in that younger audience, and then they can watch the video even though it's not like just, I think we were sitting last night watching some YouTube videos, and we watched a couple different channels, and CPA here had his phone, and he was tapping a lap counter for the number of shots within the first 30 seconds of various people's videos. And it's just so interesting to see. I think TD Bricks had, I believe it was changing shot less than every second within the first. So it was about
36. So every time it cut or changed frames or whatever, I was hitting lap. So there was about 36. So every 0.9 seconds, 0.8 seconds, he's cutting to something else. Just new. So you, and it's a psychological thing.
Oh, 100%.
Like you're watching this video,
you can't even
trying
process,
to figure out what's going on. So you're essentially, and this is just it was my first time ever watching a TD Bricks video, honestly. I think I maybe scrolled through his channel, but I didn't actually click on a video. So, because someone had mentioned him. And you're trying to process the video, but you can't because there's a shot every 0.9 seconds. So you're trying to figure out like, he's at Legoland. There's a minifig.
You have to stay glued on the screen.
So you have to, you're honestly mesmerized into watching the video, which it's working for me.
It works. I mean, the video that we watched, 60 million views. That is incredible. That is something that I think can be quite respected. But yeah, I think like the video that I posted today probably has my fastest intro that I've made. And we timed it. And what was it, like every 4 seconds? Every 3 seconds?
I think it was 14 shots.
14 shots. So, okay, maybe it was like every just over 2 seconds.
Yeah.
The longest shot was like 5.
A couple 1 seconds, a couple 4.5 seconds. Yeah.
I think, it's just an interesting thing trying to strike that balance and figure out like pushing it, but not like, I don't want to alienate, viewers that are my age or older, and then I also want it to be like not boring for kids. So just trying to have that more broad appeal.
Because you have, I mean, you've pulled up your age stats before, and I think it's like 7 to 14 your highest, or it is a big chunk.
It's a big chunk, and then the 40 age is a big chunk, which is obviously kids watching on their parents' account. But I do have a decent like 18 to 20 whatever, and that's really like the group that I want to actually be watching my content, and not necessarily the 7 to 8 year olds. I would love for the average viewer to be, between 12 and 50, 60, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But
Tyler has some words for you.
Clicked off since there was no Yoda death sound in the first 30 seconds. Do better. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
Hey, so you did have the little,
Thank you, Shy.
The little droid, the little twinkle.
Oh,
not tinkle, a twinkle.
Twinkle. Bruh.
The droid twinkle.
Yes.
Ding.
Yep.
Which was fun.
Yeah. Just a couple fun animations and sound effects and stuff. Yeah, no, it was a fun video to work on. But yeah, I think that developing an editing style is an important thing to do to kind of set yourself apart. One channel that we just found yesterday was BRICKWORLD Benny. If you guys haven't seen his stuff, you should check it out. He's a guy who has like 2 million subs on his main channel, and he just started making Lego content this year, and he has 9 videos on his channel with like 24K subs. And the pristine quality, he does a ton with motion graphics. It is not like in your face, but it is just crispy. And I was so impressed. We were both sitting there watching it on the TV.
Yeah.
And I said, like, this is TV content.
It was like, it felt like I was watching I don't know how long it was. It was so fluid and
very well put together. You said it felt like we were watching like the History Channel.
Yeah, like a History Channel episode on
a review.
The Venator, the UCS Venator.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, Shy
knows him. Of course.
And his voice it's like got that slight. He was from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he's got to be Dutch, I think.
So he's got that slight accent, which is like, it just hits that spot.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. I like that little bit of flair.
Welcome, Richie.
Thanks for stopping by. So everyone, after this, go check out BrickWorLD Benny, his review of the Venator, which I think that was his.
I'd say that's the peak review on his channel. Yeah, it's quite
of the ones we watched.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Although he did like the lightsaber animations and stuff for the Emperor's Throne Room diorama.
Yes,
that
which was cool. Amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Lego Man is a fan with. I watched his Photoshop channel. Yeah, I think that's his main channel.
That's his main channel.
I was so pumped to see he started a Lego channel.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Great stuff. Look forward to seeing what else he can make. And I mean, like we said, he would be a primo LAN.
Oh my goodness.
Contender.
That's a guy who should be a LAN member. He should be getting. They should give him every set for a review. I would watch all the reviews. I don't really watch review content, but I would watch his reviews. Yeah. Absolutely.
It was fantastic. So, and of course, my video editing style is a little more simplistic, but I definitely have a lot of ideas. It's just getting the planning, which I've learned, of course, from you and from trial and error, that planning on the front end saves you so much time and frustration on the back end.
Yeah.
So with my Knuckles review that I did, that started out slow and it picked up. It got 1.12 thousand, which in my mind, like, okay, I did this in 3-4 hours. This is a 1,000 view video. So at the end of the day, I was happy with that. Nice would have been more. More would have been nice.
Nice would have been more.
But I was the second review on it, unfortunately. I was hoping to be that first review. Regardless, there were so many times at the editing desk where I'd have shots and you have to manually stretch out shots by either repeating them or using shots that are filler and don't really achieve the goal you're trying to make with the dialogue. So I'm talking ad nauseum. I have to cut a bunch of stuff out just because it doesn't make sense. So
I think trying to figure out that production process is different for everyone, and people function with things in different orders. I think like I have learned for myself that, if it's a mock building challenge video, building the mock and then filming everything as I'm going and then going and putting it together afterwards works out pretty well. Although I'm probably going to be changing that this coming year a little bit with the format for those videos. We can talk a little bit about future content in a little bit, but I will be updating my style for mock building challenges. And then on top of that, I think with the commentary style videos, that's one where like I scripted at the beginning, and with this most recent video, I actually made a proper shot list.
Yep.
And that was the first time I've done that in a while, and it was just so nice. Like I had to get so many B-roll shots of like different droids and them doing different things to match up with what I was saying. But I actually went and I cut all of the talking head stuff, took out all of the areas where I didn't want talking head, and then made a list of B-roll to go shoot. And I think that helped it flow a lot better. And I think that's going to be what I'm going to be doing for future commentary stuff. But I don't know. It's just interesting as you make more videos and you start to get better at it to try and learn from your past videos. And I think watching other people's content and seeing how are they piecing things together, how are they telling the story, can help you figure out that production style and how you want to really just piece things together to make them coherent. Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, do you film all your talking heads regardless of if you're going to use the video or not?
No,
or you have that plan? You had that plan for this video?
For this video, yes. Yeah. For this video that I did today, I filmed everything talking head, so I had it if I wanted it. But a lot of the time I try and put my face in every video because I want to build a personal brand. And I want people to be able to recognize when you come to my video, I'm the first thing that you see when it starts, regardless of what the video is typically. Even if it's for just, half a second, I'll be on screen. And I think that helps to build that recognition of like, yes, I'm watching, a Firebird content video.
Did anyone comment on that video about your hat?
The fact I wasn't wearing my hat? No, not yet.
That I saw, which is interesting. So when he posted that for the members only, I was like, someone's going to comment that you're not wearing your hat. But so far, I mean, it's been doing a really good video so far, performance-wise. And, Richie said he was going to comment
there we go.
about that. So speaking of Richie, he didn't say this was for...
Oh, I think he might have come after that. So that's you right there.
Richie, is this intended for Caleb for his YouTube Premium? Let me know.
This is you.
Just let me know. We can pass that along. But thank you so much for the super chat. Means a lot. Richie, I'd love to talk to you as well. I'm sure you'd be more than willing to come on the podcast, as your video style is, I think you found your footing, which is great. We just need to get you a new mic maybe, or get you out of iMovie like I got out of Word. I think that would, baby steps.
Is this a backhanded compliment or something here?
Oh, Richie. Richie can take it. I know you can.
What else we got here going on in the chat? Let's see.
Never. He says.
Planet
mock
shots.
building.
Oh, mock building.
growth.
Okay, we'll keep moving. Mock building growth.
Yeah. So obviously this is a question for you.
You're not going to talk about mock building?
Well, I've done two Bionicle
That's
mocks.
right. You are getting into it.
I've posted one of them. The first one was kind of like this. If you know who Nadiki is. That he's got like the four legs.
Yes, yeah.
So it was kind of like that. It was a combination of Onua and Arakshi.
Okay.
So my story was like years ago they formed, like they both died in battle, and then the protodermis like melded around them, and then they became one. And so they're kind of, it's like a yin yang. Gotcha. They're always fighting against each other and can never work together, even though they're in one body. So that's kind of my lore behind that.
Is that the learning from mock building that you have for the last years? You made your first mock in a while though, right?
The Bionicle?
Yeah.
So that one I actually made pretty early on in my first big Bionicle lot haul. That was just like a bunch of random pieces. It wasn't the best quality, but a bunch of pieces. And then I made this other mock from the latest lot haul that was the really, really good one.
Gotcha.
And it was basically a Toa Mata, the Lua, the one you threw a lot of shade at, which I took very personally.
Yeah.
He just kind of a reimagination of him.
Gotcha.
So it was a little more. Actually, I did like it a lot better, but pretty simple.
That's good.
So, but your mock building, your build style, preparation, planning. We talked about it a bit at BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids, but how's that evolved over the years?
It's been very interesting because I guess I've been building mocks now for just over a year and a half. Like the first video on my channel was the first mock that I ever built. So my entire like mock building history is all public. It's all there. And you can definitely tell that first build is obviously not as good as some of the stuff that I've been doing more recently, but I think it's quite interesting because I actually started my YouTube channel because, welcome Ostif, it's good to see you. I actually started my channel because I wanted to just document my mock building journey. That was like the initial intent. And it's been interesting because you can mock build for two purposes. You can mock build for, if you want to take it to conventions, you want to get the detail and you want to spend, there are people spend a full year on a build or more. And then on the other side of that, there's mock building for content, which I actually think is quite different because with content, maybe you have a time constraint that you set, or maybe you're just trying to tell a story. I think if you look at an interesting case for this is if you look at TD Brick's videos, his older videos have like these very detailed mocks or more detailed mocks. And then in his more recent content, it's less detailed builds, but it's more storytelling focused, or it's just trying to get a point across. And that's something where like I try and find balance. I tend to want to lean into doing more detailed builds and doing detailed landscaping or whatever. Like the Fortnite build that I did, which for those of you who haven't seen it, it was built in one day. And so because we had one day to build it, we didn't really get to do any landscaping. It's just flat plate, which I always make fun of people who do no landscaping in their builds, because it's like, it's just plate. Like you gotta show something,
quote
at least
unquote easy.
At least do something, put some elevation in there a little bit, anything, you know? And so that was one of those things where, like, because of time constraint, I had to pull back on detail. And so because now everything I build is for content, I have to find that balance of detail versus efficiency, and is it serving the purpose of the video? What's the point of the video? And I think going into next year, it's going to be more story-based building. I will be including probably more detail than some, but I have to like pull back on how much detail I'd like to put into something. But I've definitely learned a lot about what's worth spending time on, what's not worth spending time on, and how to try and maintain a solid level of detail without spending too much time on something. And that's been a good learning for me. But you know, I did the mock series thing. I took Christophsis to BRICKWORLD Chicago, and that was a relatively detailed build. I will not be doing another mock series just because I think that format is not where Lego YouTube is at these days. I think that things have changed over the past couple of years. I think somebody commented on maybe it was a clone base building challenge. I think the 30-day clone base. Somebody said to me, what's up, Will? Good to see you. Somebody said to me in the comments, he's like, oh, you could have made this into like an 8-video series, but I'm so glad that you didn't, because I get to see it all in one video. And it's just interesting because you have these different types of people who are wanting to watch different things. I can still enjoy throwing on a coconut video on the TV while I'm working on something, and it's 20 minutes of a mock update. Yeah. But I know that a lot of younger people are not looking to watch those types of videos. So it's just very interesting to see the things that people are interested in and how much of a market there is for those things.
Of course, very, very important to keep that taking that into consideration. Of course, with True Squadron, is he a fellow mocker?
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. He'd be making the big builds. That's right.
Yeah, balance very important, I imagine, for making mocks for vids and determining the scale. I mean, we've nailed it so many times that planning is the baseline for success, and that's true in all areas of life. Like you have to plan. That's true. Yeah. If you're, I'll say the cheesy quip: failure to plan is a plan to fail.
That's true.
So keep that in mind.
That's a fact.
No matter what you're doing. And I speak as someone that needs to do that more myself with my videos. Let's be honest, with work, you got to plan. You got to, preaching to myself there with that one. So mocks, and it's hard to not look towards 2024 with this because we have a completely different bullet point to talk about 2024.
We'll be getting to 2024 soon.
Is he itching to get to that?
He's asking about
what's your
goal
number
for
one
this
goal
year.
this year?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll talk about that.
We're living in the past right now.
2023 right now.
As a CPA, I do live in the past a lot because with 2023 being over, now I get to audit everyone's 2023 year end. So we typically live in the past a lot as accounts. But it's important looking at the year in retrospect and review to figure out how you're going to plan for 2024
and learn from everything. I think trying to take what has happened, seeing the feedback that was there, and then acting on that is incredibly important.
Exactly. Here's LifeBrick's plan. 366. Yeah, you got the leap year, man.
That is a lot of uploads. I wish you the best of luck in doing that. That's going to take some serious dedication.
That will take a lot. And planning. You got to plan to how you're going to do that.
How are you going to do that during BRICKWORLD? That's the real question.
A lot of pre-uploads. I can only
pre-uploads, not enough sleep.
Yes. So moving on to our next point, we've got, with every YouTuber, of course, once you get to a certain point, you realize the money is not really in the AdSense. It's in the brand deals, of course. All the big Lego YouTubers in general. I mean, the brand deals is really where the rubber meets the road as far as a career. So what have you learned in 2023 about brand deals? How is that affecting, of course, it's led to the Fortnite content, and kind of what are you looking, or what have you seen in 2023 with that?
Yeah, it's been super interesting because I had like I had the idea of wanting to get into brand deals early on, and I did a little bit of affiliate stuff and whatnot, and it was something that I was maybe starting to focus on a little bit early, and then I pulled back on it pretty hard, and I was like, I think I just need to focus on making good content. And so that was pretty much the focus for all of 2023, was just content and not worrying about brand deals. And to be honest, I didn't even really work too hard to seek out the brand deals. It's just, I worked with an agency that finds brand deals for content creators, and they found me the deal with Epic Games. I'll also be doing a Surfshark integration coming up in February. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to do it too much because I don't want to put people off, and I don't want people to feel that I'm selling out or whatever. But at the same time, as a viewer who watches thousands of hours of YouTube, it's so common. Everybody has sponsorships. Everybody, especially like bigger content creators, they all have their VPN, their HelloFresh, their whatever that, they're promoting. And so that's one of those things where I would like to strike a balance. I also only want to work with brands that either I use, I believe in, or could be applicable to the audience. And it's a weird thing in the Lego space. Like, I'd love to work with tons of customs makers, but customs makers don't necessarily have budget a lot of the time, unless they're, a CAC, a Light My Bricks or whatever, bigger customs companies / accessory companies or whatever. So it is one of those things that I'm going to be working on more in 2024. And I'm excited about the possibility that brings, because being able to get brand deals allows me to reinvest in the channel and to make better content and to be able to get more parts for more builds and all that kind of stuff. And so that's one of those things where I think it's going to be worth it. With the Fortnite deal, I was able to pick up a new computer where I can edit better, and I can work on not taking forever to render my videos, and my computer's lagging while I'm trying to edit 4K footage or put any motion graphics in there is dying. It's those types of things where it's just reinvesting, trying to make better content and better videos for everybody who's watching.
Speaking of brand deals, brand awareness, if you're a fan of the CPA brand, the Lego CPA brand, as Anger Canadian is showing us right here, using a custom Lego CPA emoji.
Look at that.
You too can use these custom emojis if you join a membership with my firm, with our firm. For those of us that are members, you can click the join button below. I believe it should be available in this video, or go to my homepage on my channel, become a member. There's several different tiers. I've had early releases for videos. Once we get to a certain number of members, then I believe, because I would want to do the not custom streams, members only streams for you all, but I do want to wait till we get a little bit more members, just to make it kind of more enjoyable and more functional.
A little bit more interaction, right?
Yeah, to have more than Scott, love you, man, but I do want more people than just Scott in the chat. So if you're interested, of course, there are, like Tyler a couple weeks ago said, it's just one Chipotle bowl a year for the lowest level tier. So if you would consider, you get that green name, you get those custom emojis. You can see Scott's got the custom emoji. Oh, geez, Life Bricks, the man showing off all those
every
custom
emoji. Look at that.
Emojis. Look at that.
I like your reaction emojis. Those are pretty good. Yep. I do
classic,
like that.
And thumbs down. Hopefully we're not doing thumbs down too much, but hey, you never know.
Oh, it looks like Ostif is going to become a member.
Ostif,
legend,
huge shout out
for both
to
of us.
Ostif,
much appreciated, sir.
Since you're here, you probably should just become a member here first.
Probably, yes, no, definitely. We're on the CPA channel, so
exactly. Star Max, thanks for hopping in. Caleb says Caleb, with the new computer, I hope you are using a big screen, or at least two screens. I did notice that I hadn't called you out for it just yet, but you like keeping is it more about keeping your eyes in one spot?
For like editing and stuff?
Yep.
Well, yeah. Okay. So I've been editing on my, it's an M1 MacBook Pro for the longest time.
Okay.
And I'm making the transition over to editing on a Windows computer that I got, which is like very beefed up and very capable. I've noticed like when I use an external monitor for editing, it does make things go a lot faster. But for the time being, I'm just down in here. I have this desk here where I shoot things on the desk. I move things around all the time. It's a very modular space. I do have a studio upstairs, which is currently my wife's office. Ever since she started working from home full time, it used to be my music production studio, and now it is her office. And so, eventually, it kind of works as a base station. So I could plug in up there, throw the HDMI in, and then edit up there. But for now, it's laptop only. But eventually, if I can figure out a good way to get either a monitor on a swinging arm that I can move out the way when I need to or whatever, I think that's probably what I will do. But for now, it's single laptop screen editing. I've gotten pretty quick with it though. I think it's okay.
Especially for me at work, people would criticize a lot. I do have I think this is a 16-inch screen. So it's like an inch taller than your typical laptop. But there's just something about keeping, if you know the hotkeys, the keyboard shortcuts, you can work really quick without having to move your mouse around a lot, and just kind of keeping your head in one spot instead of having to do this, then you're over here, then you're back down.
I feel like I've gotten faster at editing, but when I watch somebody who's like an editor, like an editor's editor, those dudes are quick. They are so fast. Like I've seen editing tutorial videos and they've just got all the shortcut keys down. One that I was really excited about recently, this is like such a niche thing, but I assigned Control B on my computer to slice the entire row of everything. So when I'm synced everything up, it just cuts everything with the play bar. That has been game changers. Makes things a lot faster. But anyway, hotkeys, shortcuts, you got to do all of it.
And huge shout out to LifeBricks, of course. Tyler saying all of us can live without a chicken Chipotle bowl in 2024.
It's true. Chipotle's been on a downturn, you know. They have been losing the quality just a little bit, in my opinion. So Tyler's right.
Yeah, hey, become a CPA member.
Quality's only going up. So Chipotle.
Yeah, exactly.
CPA.
CPA trajectory. Chipotle.
Whatever. You get it. You
know what I mean. You all know what I mean. So become a CPA member. We got the lowest, 99 cents. So let's see. All right, what's Legoman saying? You know,
you're an Excel master, aren't you?
I do get paid to live in Excel, so I guess technically I'm an Excel master.
Compared to me, you're definitely an Excel master because
so
pretty basic.
But I do, for those who work in Excel, I don't prefer alt shortcuts. Just because I like the hotkeys where you push the buttons and then it's done. Yeah. I don't know if are you familiar with the alt shortcuts?
Like where you have to when you're putting them all in that line there?
Yeah, so you click Alt, then you click W, then you click F. Okay. And it doesn't happen instantaneously. It happens serially because it's like your mouse is clicking it. Sure. It's just a personal preference.
That's fair.
But yeah. So what else? Yeah, whatever works best for you.
Oh, no, I know. Getting the clips on another screen is super helpful. I totally agree.
Yeah, this is 100% a lore moment.
Lore.
From Anger Canadian. And Anger Canadian is one of our resident supervisors. So him and Sith. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? We've got two supervisors. It's Anger Canadian and one else. So got to hold down that supervisor spot. But no. All right, enough harping on the memberships. I feel like I harped on that enough. So back to brand deals, of course. You talked about the Epic Games one. Just kind of that whole process of, it's a huge decision you're partnering with them and saying, putting your stamp of approval on a product. So it's just, when you really think about it, it's a serious thing. It
is. Like, you want to be careful with what you're endorsing and everything. You don't want to get involved in, like, promoting a crypto scam, for example. That's something that happened to a lot of people last year. So you got to be really careful with what you accept, who you work with, and all that kind of stuff. And that's something I want to be very mindful of.
And even for me, I was very surprised I received 2 requests to be involved in reviewing someone's product. So not quite a brand deal per se, but still working with
product review with like an affiliate thing, or not maybe, just depending on who they are.
Yeah, and I had those opportunities. I was very surprised getting those requests, and one of them was a Lego compatible product, without going into too much detail, and the other one was a Lego Light System product. So I would have looked forward to doing that product, but unfortunately, just through work limitations and such, I'm not able to do those product reviews, which is unfortunate. But I figured, the job that pays the bills, I should probably
focus on
listen to them, and
that's
make sure
always
I'm not.
that's always the most important.
Unfortunately, YouTube's not quite paying the bills, which I don't personally want to get to that point. As
YouTube,
told you
don't
before,
be paying the bills.
But so no, but it's really cool, the process and the opportunities that are out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Really amazing. Now we can finally get to BRICKWORLD. I know we've all talked about it a lot. BRICKWORLD 2023, especially with BRICKWORLD 2024 right around the corner.
It's going to be here before we know it, I think. Yeah.
Which means that my busy season is over. So I am more than happy for BRICKWORLD to be here before we know it. 168 days.
Got the countdown.
With the timer on his phone screen.
That's hilarious.
2023, what a moment for all of us. Me, my first real-time involvement in the Lego community, really figuring out, wow, there's a lot of people in the Lego community.
There's a lot of people.
I thought at that point I was mainly just watching Ryan and a little bit of Solid Bricks. Besides that, not too many people. I was watching some of Tyler's stuff because he had done a couple streams with Ryan, so seeing that exposure as well. But I hadn't met you yet.
Yeah.
At BRICKWORLD, we didn't even meet. We didn't meet until after BRICKWORLD,
right,
on an ACOB podcast.
That's right.
But meeting so many people, and then even meeting more people, and then be like, oh yeah, we were both at BRICKWORLD, and really cool. So for you, how was BRICKWORLD 2023? Of course, you had a mock there. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot just to do because I feel like I went to BRICKWORLD 2022. This is back on the last topic.
Yeah, very important.
Always be on the lookout. This is facts because there are people out there who will send sponsorship requests that just want to steal your information. It's a thing. Okay, so yeah, BRICKWORLD 2023. I went in 2022 public days. I just went for one day on a Saturday, and that was like my first Lego convention experience. It blew my mind looking at all the mocks. That was like the highlight for me. No, I was public day attendee in 2022.
Wow.
I had
2022.
Okay. I hadn't started. Still tired. That's fair. I hadn't started mock building at that point, but actually going to BRICKWORLD 2022 was the thing that actually kicked me into mock building because I had been buying Pab cups and getting parts and buying sets and everything before that for some time and planning to start mock building. But I came back from BRICKWORLD 2022. I built my first mock and then uploaded my first YouTube video directly as an effect of going to BRICKWORLD 2022. And so going to 2023, I then learned about the existence of the private days where people go and they hang out. And so going to 2023, I was like, I'm going to get to hang out with people who also make content, get to meet people who watch some of my content, get to see lots of cool mocks. Like there was so much I was looking forward to it. BRICKWORLD. This is a great question. This is a good question. BRICKWORLD is a Lego convention that takes place in Chicago. That's the main convention. There are subsidiary conventions around the Midwest currently that you can go to other BRICKWORLD conventions, but Chicago's the main one, and that is the one that pretty much everybody goes to. It is the Lego convention at this point. I think Brick Fair and BRICKWORLD, Brick Fair Virginia and BRICKWORLD Chicago were kind of neck and neck for a while, but I really feel like Chicago's come into its own. Welcome, Brickmaster Harry. Good to see you.
So real quick, True Squadron, we're going to talk about that in the 2024.
Yes,
so
we will get to that
2023. Soon. I know we're still living in the past. But yeah, Angry Canadian, just to further answer your question, it's BRICKWORLD. When people say BRICKWORLD, 9 times out of 10, they're talking about BRICKWORLD Chicago.
Yes.
But there is the 2023 BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids for the first time. There's BRICKWORLD Detroit, Cleveland.
I'm not sure, but I know they have one in Indiana. They got one in Wisconsin,
Indianapolis. Yeah, maybe Fort Wayne. So it's mainly a Midwest thing.
Yeah,
and then on the south and the east, it's
BrickCon.
Brick Fair, Virginia.
No, Brick Fair is Virginia, but then there's Atlanta BrickCon now. that's a big one coming up in like a week or two or something. But yeah, so I would say like 2023 for me it was that's funny, Richie, with that that
Dude, I sweat through that shirt like crazy. It was hot there, and then on top of all the people on the floor, I was like sweating.
Oh yeah.
And then I was wearing my backpack the whole time, so like this part of my shoulders was just was not a fun time. Adjustments will be made for this year,
I'm sure,
to be much more effective in that.
Okay, so yes, 2023. We're getting back on track here. So I basically going from like just a public day attendee in 22 to 23, bringing a mock with me. I brought my Christophsis mock, which that was a whole process of figuring out how to transport it, get it set up, all that kind of stuff. And then going and setting it up, making sure it was all working fine. I gave myself actually extra time to do that because I was concerned about it. I didn't like if something broke or whatever, I wanted to allow enough time for that. So there's a certain level of like stress that comes with bringing a large scale mock to an event like that. But I think like it was totally worth it because I had done a mock series. It was so fun on the public days to hang out with my build. And then people would come up and be like, there's like a kid who was like, I watched this on YouTube. And their parents were like, what? What do you mean you watched this on YouTube? And they're like, I watched this be built. And I was like, sick. Thank you. I'm so glad that you did. And it was just fun to talk with people who had seen the build. And for everybody who saw the Christophsis mock, they said, this is so much larger in person than I thought it would be. And I think that's the case for like every build that I'd seen content on prior to Chicago. Seeing it in person, it makes such a big difference. Seeing builds in person is always so much more impressive at like the scale that you get to see and the detail, and you get to actually look around things. So the mock side of things is a lot of fun. And then there's the social side, which I think I slept about 4 hours a night every night at BRICKWORLD. And that was like this compounding sleep deprivation killed me. My voice was gone at the end of BRICKWORLD. Shai's voice was gone for like 2 weeks after BRICKWORLD. That was wild. But it was so fun to like meet so many people and to develop some in-person relationships with people that we meet online and we get to talk to and we see on live streams. We talk to them on streams. We talk to them in Discord, everything. And then meeting in person just solidifies those friendships. Yeah. And I think that for me is the true highlight is like the community, I think is the most fun part. And so I had such a wonderful time getting to meet people at BRICKWORLD, and I'm excited to go back this coming year to BRICKWORLD, having met people and seeing people again,
talking to people,
catching up and all that kind of stuff.
Hours and hours throughout the year and seeing them in person again.
I'm meeting people like Shai for the first time, or Kennedy, True Squadron. I had actually met Lifebricks the year before, and I didn't know who he was at the time because I hadn't been watching as much Lego YouTube content then. And so I was introduced to him by one of our friends, David of DNA Bricks. And then I knew who Tyler was this past year, and it was good to meet up with him and chat some. But yeah, it's such a fun time. Meeting Richie was great. So Scott, I hope you're going to BRICKWORLD this year, because I would love to meet you. I think everybody would love to meet. We were talking
about this earlier today, and like Scott, I don't know where you are in the U.S., but you need to. Hopefully, you're in the U.S., but you need to come.
Yes.
If you didn't this past year and you stayed incognito and was hiding from everyone, you got to come and like maybe wear a shirt that says hello, my name is Scott, or something like that.
Bro, just hilarious. Get the Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones is like a sticker or something, like his profile picture. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see Scott.
Real quick, I did want to mention just a quick teaser to 2024 is I would love to come to 2024, but I don't actually have a hotel room, so I'm gonna have to rethink my operations. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. Anyways, I mean, obviously the best part of
you got to make sure people know that you're joking about that. CPA is going.
So, Brickmaster Harry, you're getting ahead to 2024. So we'll talk about that in 2024.
All right.
But 2023, we can talk about it all day, just with meeting people in person and having those connections, finally meeting people who you've been talking to online, figuring out like, oh yeah, you're this person, you're that person. Learning people's real names is also a fun thing. I'm still deciding if I want to let my real name slip out there.
Ooh.
So
That's a big choice. For a while, I was like, nobody's going to know that my name's Caleb. I was like, no, I'm not putting that out there. But after a while, I was like, it's all right. And it's okay. First name only. It's okay.
Yeah. And I feel like this is going to be my third or fourth time saying this, but I'll say it again because I don't know if I've said it on my own channel yet of my apprehension to going to BRICKWORLD, period, because I was going to go with two buddies. One of them was in chat earlier. They both unfortunately had to back out for scheduling reasons. So I was like, do I really want to go? Like, I'll just be there by myself. I'll probably just walk around for a little bit and be like, see ya, drive hour and a half, 2 hours back home. And then I finally decided, I think on Wednesday I made a video, just a little hype video to let people know that I was going if they were interested in seeing me. And so that's when I decided, like, I'm doing this. I brought all my gear, filmed for a vlog like all of us did, and haven't made that yet. So I might have to follow suit with other people and make a hype.
You're taking a page out of the Brent's Bricks
It's
playbook.
like going to be Brent. I don't know who else hasn't done I know he's probably saying it the most. Like,
I have like 2 days worth of vlog content from BRICKWORLD that I stopped vlogging after 2 days because it was too much. I was trying to make 3 videos and have my mock there and meet people and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I think this coming year, probably not making any content at BRICKWORLD. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So going from not going or being questionable, apprehensive to go, but then actually deciding, let's do this. I'm going to get there early Saturday, just kind of see what happens. So as an introvert myself, if I'm in situations where I don't have, if you want to call it like a safety person to latch to, I tend to kind of put myself out there a little more just because you kind of have to in those situations. And I did a couple. I think the first guy I interviewed was the guy that had the big Endor mock. So I talked to him for a bit. I was like, hey, can I interview you about your mock? And then I talked to the big Nova Scotian city.
I don't know if I saw that.
It was like by Louis Brick. He
was
over by the Bricker Builds booth. Okay.
I was at BRICKWORLD for 5 or 6 days. I think I saw 3/4 of the mocks. I was just too busy talking with people. Yeah. This year I'm going to be more intentional about actually seeing all the builds. But anyway, that's side tangent.
And then even I was in the Discord, the hound, Brick Hound.
Oh, Brick Hound, yeah.
Discord. So talking to a lot of people there, especially Richie in there. And then so seeing Richie for the first time, be like, yo, what's up? Great to meet you. Finding out that he's also trying to go into public accounting too. So just kind of learning all that stuff was awesome. Yeah. Meeting new people, meeting Ryan. I saw Tyler, and I know Tyler set up above where he apparently thought I was a celebrity for a little bit.
That's right.
Probably just because I was like wearing a suit or something.
Yeah, I mentioned I met him in 2022. I saw a comment earlier that he said that he actually remembers that now that I mention it, which is pretty funny.
Nice.
Anyway,
nice. And just so much fun. I also interviewed the Hashima collab.
Yeah, the new Hashima stuff. Yeah.
Stefan Formentano, who was one of the 2 leaders of that group, which was an absolute insane build.
Incredible mock. Yeah.
One of probably the biggest mock to date.
It's the best mock I've seen. I think it's the best mock I've seen. I thought it was incredible.
So we'll see what that team is able to create if they're able to create something new for 2024, which obviously, certainly will be interesting. I did interview Built Bricks, who awesome mock builder. He's doing the Lego Lorian, Lego Mandalorian.
I've seen that. Yeah, the whole wearable
build,
armor.
Awesome. That's been a huge content draw for him. I think he had a couple shorts that hit 1 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Or reels that hit 1 million with that. And then in recording that, my audio got messed up. So it recorded from my phone audio instead of the mics. So
that's frustrating.
I could try and salvage it, but ended up not salvaging it, unfortunately. So might have to get part 2 of that interview this coming year if he's able to come again. But meeting so many people, it's just a blast. And like I said, in retrospect, being like, oh yeah, we were both at BRICKWORLD, and BRICKWORLD 2024 is going to be awesome. So that kind of stuff, and just making friends, making connections, and sharing our wonderful hobby and our life because Lego is life for some
Lego
of us.
Lego is life.
And then even this one Bionicle mock builder, I think it's Brandon Builds.
Is this a guy who has like 40 Bionicle mocks or something like that? Or is that somebody else? Yeah.
It might be the same guy. He did the Toa Nuva reimaginations I showed you at one point or another.
Yes, I do remember those.
And he was there, and I didn't know, because I don't know if I just hadn't, I don't think I was a part of the Bionicle Facebook groups yet, so I just didn't know.
You'll have to catch him this year.
But 100%, I hope he's got some new mocks, new builds. Even if he brings the same builds, I love to see them in person. It would be amazing. But were your Bionicle senses tingling? Because
I mean,
it's working then.
You know which channel you're on, right? This is a relatively Bionicle channel.
I'm slowly doing this, and Bionicle is at the end of the tunnel. So that's the goal.
How many Bionicle over here? Like 10
12.
Bionicles sitting on the bed over here that I just bought from CPA. He brought them up for me. So maybe some Bionicle content coming eventually on my channel. I have to figure it out. I don't know if it's like a full video thing or like some shorts or whatever. We'll see. I mean, 2024.
Between you and Harry.
Yeah, Harry is a Bionicle man now.
I am not affecting, because I'm not going to say that I obviously, between the two of you, I did not create your love for Bionicle, but bringing it back, trying to remind people of what it's like, what it was like, because Bionicle is just one of those things where, and in the All Out Bricks video that I shared with you, he hit it on the head by saying nostalgia can make things better than they were. But for us, I know for me, for you as well, probably for Harry, Bionicle is one of those things that's better now than it was back then.
Yeah, I think it's aged very nicely.
Yeah, because you can I was gonna say the parts hold up. Some of them hold up, but I meant design-wise.
I don't know if they hold up, because we got some broken arms and legs on some of the Bionicle that I'm gonna have to replace. But the designs are good.
Hold up. Yeah. There's so much variability. If you don't like one, you're gonna like there's just so much variability. If you like flying things, if you like underwater things, if you like land things, there's just so many different designs. And then even as a kid, I didn't fully understand the lore, but growing up, beautiful fan films that I've seen in the last couple months, just the community, being a part of the fort. Like, remember, I think I told you one time that the Bionicle group was at 37,000.
Oh, wow.
Now it's at 45,000.
Dang.
And the mods are having to, because we don't want to just let anyone in, you have to kind of answer these questions, fill out a basic survey just to keep the spam bots out. They're adding like thousands of people every week. Just
That's pretty wild.
There's such a backlog of people. Yeah. And then when people finally join and get accepted, they do an introduction post, because they're like, oh, I'm so glad to finally get back into this hobby.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Just, getting off on a tangent. But yes, that is 100% the goal. That is the goal.
We'll see what happens,
So BRICKWORLD 2023, I think we're already kind of off that tangent.
Yeah.
One real quick thing, and we can kind of dovetail this into 2024.
Yeah.
At near the end of 2023, you had a bigger collaboration.
Yeah.
I'd say you had a handful of collaborations across the board, but talk about your collaborative builds into the live stream and how that process went.
So one thing that was pretty exciting that I started. Yes. There you go. I'll keep pushing for Bionicle to come back. I'd love to see it. So towards the end of this past year, I actually had the idea sometime in July, August of trying to do a collaboration. And I mentioned it to SW Bricks of trying to find a way to do a collaborative mock or collaborative video project where we could refer each other to each other's channels. I think that I had seen TD and Sacred Bricks doing this thing where like they were making a video and then it's like, go watch part 2 over on and such's channel. And I thought that was a really interesting way to like make 2 standalone pieces of content that can merge together and create some cross viewership, but also like help people to find other creators that they might enjoy watching. Because unless you're a hardcore YouTube watcher of Lego YouTube, you may not know of some other mock builders, and people who watch those other mock builders may not know of me. And so that was one of those things where I got quite excited about this concept of maybe trying to work together with some other people and see if we could come up with a collaborative project. So talked with SW Bricks and then ended up talking with Coconut and Jay. And it seemed like a great group of people where we kind of have slightly different video styles. And I think we hit slightly different audiences in many ways, but we all love mock building. We all love Star Wars, and we wanted to do something where we could kind of drop a collaboration out of nowhere. Because I honestly haven't seen as many collaborative projects within the Lego YouTube space as I would like to. Because if you look at other niches, especially like, I mean, obviously it's different with these larger YouTube channels with millions of subscribers, but there are so many channels out there where you have other content creators making cameo appearances within people's videos and, you know, kind of introducing people to new creators that they might enjoy watching.
Yep.
And I think that's such a fun thing to be able to help share with the people who watch your content and engage with your content. And so, it was a project I was really excited about. I think we're all very happy with how it went. We had a blast doing it. I think for all of us, for various reasons, we didn't get to spend as much time actually building as we wanted to. You know, people had projects.
It was funny. Like everyone...
I had my appendix taken out. We had, we had all sorts of like things that everybody was supposed to spend 30 days building, and none of us actually got to. So it ended up being okay. But it's one of those things where like I really felt it in the live stream of like the four of us chatting in the stream, being able to like have this healthy competition and like compliment and genuinely enjoy the things that the other people built. And then also seeing the people commenting and chatting and us interacting with them and seeing like, you know, I watched SW's content and I found Firebird, or I watched Coconut's content and I found Jay or whatever. And seeing like now that people can watch other people's content and find more things that interest them, but also how much of like a community thing it was. It was so much fun to be able to be a part of that. And I'm glad it all worked out. I had a blast with it. And now it lives there. It's on the internet. It's there. It's in a playlist. And it's a thing that, you know, I've gone back and watched through all of the videos and then watched the stream again. And I'm like, this is great. Like, this is such a fun thing. I'm so glad we were able to make it happen. And so, yeah, looking ahead, I'd love to be able to try and do some more things like that. In the future, because I think it went well and it was a blast, honestly.
Yeah. Could be an annual thing, maybe.
I don't know.
Cycling, it kind of depends on the creators and just availability.
It depends where content goes to.
That.
You know, looking ahead depends where content goes.
But no, it was really cool to see how it was not like you guys didn't market it, you didn't promote it beforehand. And so it kind of just did a blind drop for everyone, and that was really cool to see, and how. You got different viewers from that you all were sharing viewers essentially.
Yes.
And I don't think I'd watched Coco or SW Bricks or those kind of or their videos before, so to see their style was fun.
Everyone had a different take on the style of video and even like the style of build, and we all intentionally chose different terrain and different legions. It was a lot of fun to try and figure out how to make it unique and stuff. I actually just shipped out the trophy that I made that Coconut won. I shipped it out the other day.
Yep. Yeah. So collaboration is always fun for me. I think it'll kind of look like this, having people. It won't look like Caleb. It'll look like, you know, just,
the conversation, right? That's the thing,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
You know, just having more, getting more people on the podcast and continuing to be on the ACOB podcast, as that's always a fun, interesting time. It can go anywhere. You never know where it's going to go.
That's true.
But, you know, for the more chill, calm streams, you know, this podcast I feel like is relatively chill. And then, you know, getting more engagement and collaboration between, you know, whoever wants to hop on the show, and developing new segments, or, you know, as that's able to just grow organically. I think it's going to be fun. So because I do really like the idea of a weekly video. Like I haven't watched in a while, just because for me anyways, flipping from a creator or a consumer to a creator, it's just like I don't have time to consume as much anymore. But I loved Ryan's weekly M&R updates. Those are really fun, and just that the integrated interaction with the community,
Yeah.
answering questions and stuff like that. I love that. I love interacting with you all in chat, through comments, through live chats and stuff like this. So it's just super fun. And then, having a weekly live show is super fun. So yeah, just looking to continue to grow that into the future and attracting whoever wants to see it. Essentially, I don't think I'm doing anything spectacularly different than anyone else, but it's just get a Lego designer on here when we can, when it's able to work out, which I feel like that's not happening too much.
No, I think that is an interesting thing that you're doing, is getting those interviews and stuff. I think it's a pretty unique thing. Yeah.
And that from the BRICKWORLD 2023 is really kind of where it leapfrogged into where we are today, just making the connections and having, I'm sure at some point might have Tyler on, might have, maybe I could get Ryan on here, just whoever's available at the time.
Right. Yeah.
Just the possibilities with that. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. And Tyler hitting on the head. In person, it
is different.
It's different.
It's different.
Much more organic and less like, it's easier to not talk over each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
can you pull the chat up here so we can see what people are saying?
Let's see what people. Let's see. Something was beautiful. Austin thought something was beautiful.
Something was beautiful.
So I believe.
I don't know at what point that comment was made, but we'll take it, right?
Yeah.
So, Shy saying 100 on I think it's on the in-person thing. Yes, I know you believe deeply in that, Shy.
Yeah, it just makes it so much better. And of course, Shy with his Sitting on a Stoop podcast.
Goated podcast.
Not Lego exclusive, but of course, just
yes. Every episode of that show has been a banger. I listen to them in their entirety every time. Nice. Killing it. Love it.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to take over what Shy's doing. Of course, I could never. He's doing amazing things over there. Yeah, and StarMax community is definitely the best part of creating content, making unique interactions with various people, expressing your points of view on different topics is great. And it's even with things like when I made, and I very much a high of 2023, making my video on the Dune ornithopter, which I think that hit 3,000 for me, which is really, really good. And getting all the engagement of people who liked it and why they liked it. I think Scott said he was a huge fan of it. I wasn't as much of a huge fan of it. I know
I love it.
You're gonna get that set.
I am so stoked on the mechanism to make that thing flap. I think is so cool. I know the critique, and we shouldn't go down that rabbit trail, but I think yes, I would agree with what Starbox is saying here about the best part of creating content being the community engagement and being able to chat with people and have that back and forth. The back and forth discourse. Red axles, yes.
Hey, it's not as worse as blue pins in all the Technic cars.
But yes, being able to have the public discourse and seeing people's opinions on things and whatever. I think as long as it's done respectfully, I truly do enjoy that as well.
Yeah, exactly. So collaborations, and within the Lego community, collaborations are just huge, and everyone thrives. It's honestly, I would just had this thought come to mind. It's like the MCU or the Lego Cinematic Universe, and we're all coming together.
LCU,
we're all coming together for galactic events, or this is the CPA Firebird show, and then BRICKWORLD is Avengers.
BRICKWORLD is the Avengers,
the uniting
the
of the
whole
Avengers.
Lego community. I think it's great.
Yeah,
LCU coming this summer. That's right.
Coming this June to a theater near you.
The Lego Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, and BRICKWORLD 2024 Endgame battle.
Yeah.
So who's Thanos then?
I don't know. I don't know.
The haters. That's Thanos. But kind of moving along to the.
Are we looking forward now? Is that what we're getting
We've been looking forward for a little bit.
Oh, have we?
Yeah,
okay, my
collaborations. We kind of dovetailed.
Okay, so we're talking. Yeah,
we're
I
in
guess
2024.
I'd love to see more of that in 2024. Okay, so we're shifting.
Yeah. So we've got the video schedule ideas, live streams, and I have in here getting that Millie video.
Okay, so we're talking.
Come soon.
Are we talking goals? Is that
goals and high-level plans
Okay.
for 2024.
Content goals,
Yeah, here we
plans,
go.
all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Look forward.
Look forward. All right. Just for you, Harry, we're going to look forward. So I would say, content-wise for 2024, I have a couple of things that I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to be branching out of Lego Star Wars a little bit, which is definitely it's a risk, but also something I'm pretty excited about. I will continue making Star Wars content. I obviously, if you look behind here, it's all Star Wars. Everything here is Star Wars. Yep, that's right. It's all Star Wars, so that's not going anywhere. But I do think like there are other topics that would be fun to explore within mock building and mock build challenges. And so one of the things that the next video that I'm working on, I think I might have mentioned this somewhere else briefly, but kind of maybe exclusive, whatever. But I'm going to be building the Roman Empire in Lego, and that video should be coming out in approximately two to 3 weeks. And this is the other thing.
Short-term update.
Yeah, I mean, because I've been pretty stringent on, is stringent the right word? I don't know. I've been pretty strict with myself on trying to do bi-weekly uploads, but I think that what I really need to do is try and make the video the best it possibly can be. So if that means taking an extra week to really dive into the edit and make sure the script is better and make sure the flow of the video is better, I think it's worth posting slightly less often to get higher quality content. Because at the end of the day, these videos live online and they stay there. And one of the things I noticed throughout 2023 is like, you can have videos that continue to get views indefinitely, it seems. I mean, I know for some channels it is indefinitely. There are some very large channels that continue to get views forever with evergreen content. But I made a Droid Army in 7 days video. That video came out, I believe, a year ago today, actually, and it still gets like 500 views a day, which is pretty crazy because it's such an old video at this point. And so that's the type of thing where I'm thinking about taking this time, making these videos as good as I possibly can. It gives them legs for the future. It helps them to continue going forward and get recommended and more people to enjoy them. And it makes something more entertaining for people. And so that's kind of the posture that I'm going to be taking with some of these things. And then dialing it back a little bit on some of the other video ideas and making that members content. Really trying to provide value for channel members on my channel is going to be a focus for 2024. And getting into live streaming is another really big one for me. I think I would love to interact more with the community, more with the people who watch my channel. I did my first actual stream on my channel back in, I think it was late November with Brickmaster Harry, and we just talked and did a tier list, and it was so much fun. And getting all of the chat to kind of weigh in on their opinions and talk about what they think about sets and stuff, and whether we were out of our minds with our rankings, which maybe with some of them we were, but it's one of those fun subjective things. And so I'd love to get more consistent with the streaming. And I'm still trying to workshop like what that's actually going to look like to be something that is entertaining and engaging yet sustainable. And so that's one of the things I want to work on as well. But I have lots of ideas for big videos. And I have lots of things that I'm very excited about. I have content planned for quite some time here, and things that I'm working towards all the time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can provide as far as entertaining and engaging content for people this coming year. So it's gonna be interesting, and just continuing to try and learn. Yeah,
and like we've talked
always
about,
learning.
The planning seems to be very real. Because I mean, as you're scoping this thing up, ramping it up to where your plan is for it to be, that's exactly what it's going to take. Yeah. Like, how do you have the whole year planned out? Or do you have 6 months planned out, or
it's
Q1.
It's like Q1 with the ability to shift things as needed. I actually was hoping to get this Lego Empire video out like 2.5 months ago. Oh. But everything shifted around, and then there was the mock collaboration thing, and then there's the appendix removal and all these things. So it's interesting.
So I think Tyler's saying taking extra time editing or putting together your video
could be a
sometimes a gamble. I would just from my side, I think it depends on the content style.
It depends on the content.
Like if you're trying to break the news on the latest leak. Yeah.
Yes.
Taking
Yes.
extra time.
Tyler,
probably
with
isn't
your
ideal.
content, it is a risk for sure because you're trying to hit people with that timely information.
Yeah.
You know? But if it's
Evergreen
something that's
content.
not tied to a piece of news or something that is pertinent right now, I don't really think it's a risk. Unless you're not uploading for 3 months, then there's a problem, you know? But I think that taking the extra time to really polish things, you can't make it perfect. You can never make it perfect in theory, right? You always have to eventually put the thing out. But I think like I've been trying to, you know, like I've said, I was posting twice a week, once every 2 weeks. I'm trying to remove myself from this mindset of like I have to do it has to be every this and trying to pull back from that a little bit in the name of making better videos.
And even I remember you mentioning when you can look at your view graph and your performance graph in 2023 when you stopped that.
When I stopped that, yes.
Uploading and put
we were
the
looking
time
at the
in,
analytics yesterday.
it literally is a mountain. It spikes because for your videos the quality is the key.
I mean, that was around the same time I bought a new camera, invested in better lighting, got this all set up, and changed the type of content I was making all kind of at once. And those decisions led to just making better videos at the end of the day is what it is.
And isn't this the first IR?
Are you?
What do you mean by like?
Are you
you're
talking
walking
like
on the streets?
Is he talking typical IRL streamer?
Like you're walking through downtown Chicago.
I don't know.
Building Lego sets on your portable table.
Somebody would have to come up with a good concept to make that worth watching, I think. Otherwise, it's going to be silence and them sitting there building.
Welcome to the stream, Justin. Great to see you. Yeah, IRL Walmart
okay,
shopping.
yeah, I could see that being a thing. Hunting for deals. Yeah, Walmart.
You'd probably be more disappointed than not, but as we found out last night, very, very disappointed in Walmart's availability. So where do you think the line in the sand is of when you would get a bit worried of your distance between uploads?
I think that depends. It's definitely case by case basis. I know there are some channels that post 2 videos a year, and they get millions of views on those videos because they spend 6 months working on a video. I think that's probably a bit excessive, and I think it doesn't cater to the type of content.
Yep.
But I would say for me personally, like if we're hitting 3-4 weeks, I'm like sweating.
Yeah.
You know? But at the end of the day, like you want to be in front of people and putting out videos so that you're not falling off and people aren't forgetting who you are, because there's always stuff to watch, right? But the thing is, like, you really just need to be making good stuff. Again, I think it really comes down to respecting people's time.
Yeah.
I think that's important because time is the one thing that is limited. You don't have unlimited time to just sit and watch YouTube. You were saying yourself, you haven't been watching as much YouTube as you want. I can't spend all day watching YouTube. I have a job. I got things I need to do. I got to make videos, you know? And so I think that's an important thing, is like really thinking for the perspective of people who watch your stuff, like what is valuable to them.
And from what we've talked about in Tyler, this obviously is not a surprise to you. If you didn't upload for a week or two, people might think you're unalived or something.
Oh,
like you're not around. Whereas if you don't upload for 2 weeks, no one's worried. So it also kind of depends on, like you said, your audience, what they're looking for, what you've historically provided them, and what you continue to provide them. So Tyler, you're like the information guy. They need that.
They need
those
that
videos once, twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. Well,
4 or 5,
you, 7 times
7.
a week.
Apparently 7 times a week for the next 52 weeks is what we need.
So, and it kind of just depends on the audience for what they're expecting.
What is this that I see on the screen here?
This is Darth Ostiff joining the firm as an intern.
Love to see it.
Thank you so much. You join on a Saturday, so you don't have to report for work until Monday, but look forward to seeing you in the firm. You get that intern message. I think, do they give you a message once a month? I think.
A message?
Yeah, like each month where you hit a new tier, you get to send a message or something.
Oh, yes.
So
like a highlighted thing.
I think that's probably your message, and then you'll get to do another message next month. But appreciate you giving up one Chipotle burrito bowl with guacamole
per year
2024.
Yep, there you go.
Much appreciated. Thank you for joining.
Thank you
the
for
firm.
joining my channel as well. He joined
Yeah,
me too.
he
Thank
did.
you.
Yeah,
I
he said he
appreciate that,
joined
man.
Firebird as well.
Huge shout out. Thank you. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All in the name of making more content and better content.
Certainly. And getting a green name in chat, which
That's right.
Caleb, hey, he's going to have more live streams.
That's true. It's
that
coming.
membership is going to be much more
It
important
is
for sure.
It is genuinely coming. I'm not just saying that and I won't deliver on it. There
Yeah.
will be consistent streams. It's just trying to figure out what the right format is. So
Exactly. Because you don't want to budge in on the CPA-fol podcast style.
No.
The CPA-fol podcast has its niche.
That's right.
You can't just
You can't just steal it.
Scott, hey, you have to fight with the other associates because we've got one manager, two
What's my title?
supervisors. Your title is associate.
Associate. All right.
So you might have to step up if you want.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, Scott, if you get there early enough, your parking spot is 100% secure. So Tyler with the message, make sure it's not getting cut off.
Oh yeah.
We're good.
Okay, so we're talking about the risk of there is risk associated with
monetary risk. That's
there's monetary risk and there's viewership risk and everything with putting out less content, but that's where spending a lot of time coming up with a really, really solid idea is key to not having a video flop in a sense. And I'm not immune to this in any capacity whatsoever. I probably spent $1,500 on my 2007 look back at Lego, basically, that video where I opened a bunch of sets and built them and everything. Granted, that was something that I was interested in making myself. I really enjoyed building those sets. There was a great experience for me getting to make that video, and the feedback from people on that was fantastic. It was pretty moving, some of the stuff that people said, that they felt when they watched that video. So absolutely worth it. It didn't do the same numbers as some of my other stuff. So yeah, it's a loss financially, but at the end of the day, you can't win them all.
Yeah.
You cannot. And so it's okay. You take some L's, which, L is perspective. It's all perspective.
Absolutely.
And
an L for Caleb is much different than an L for me.
That's fair.
I will take his L's every day of the week. But, it's all perspective. It's
exactly like what Darth Ostiff is saying. He left a similar comment on my video, and I said, I was a little bit down on the performance of that video. And then when I saw his comment, I was like, you know what? That video was absolutely worth making just for this comment, honestly. Yeah. And so, yeah, I genuinely appreciate that, man. I'm glad that it could help bring up some good memories and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And it brings us back to that community aspect of without you all, without the community, without, stuff like BRICKWORLD, who's the CEO? I'm trying to remember. Mark.
Yep.
Him organizing that whole thing, just doing amazing things for the community. All of us kind of coming from different angles of our own little niche of what we like to do, bringing different areas of entertainment, different levels of editing skill, very different levels at this table here. So just seeing so many different styles for literally. Yeah. There's a style for everyone.
Oh yeah,
here, which is great.
Yeah, everybody brings different value.
Mm-hmm. I think we already brand deals in 2024.
Yeah, we covered that.
We've kind of covered that pretty much. Let's save BRICKWORLD 2024 for last. Future collaborations, 2024 collaborations. We did talk about that actually with a future mock collab.
Yep, future mock collabs.
We're all kind of BRICKWORLD 2024.
Yes.
Which
are you wanting to get into BRICKWORLD 2024?
Let's just talk about BRICKWORLD.
Is this what you
want?
Because
that's kind of the collaboration point. Oh snap! You might get some. You might
paying for an
brand deal soon.
Let me know, Tyler. Let me know.
He is a multi-million reach.
That's right.
YouTube influencer.
If we're talking impressions alone, whatever.
But you have to put Tyler's face on your thumbnail.
Impressions mean
nothing.
nothing.
Impressions to count.
They mean nothing. It's fine.
Yeah, let's do it. StarMox with, let's see. It's important to balance those things. Some videos are for growth of the channel. Some videos are for your own happy experience with their creation or to bring closer the community. Yeah, like your Star Wars flashback throwback one was like for the hardcore community, us maybe a little older.
Yeah.
that really can appreciate those. So
yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's, some for the growth and some for just the people who it's made for, basically, and that's okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah. All right, BRICKWORLD 2024. Hopefully the people that were asking about it, like Harry and them, are still here. Also, if you're here, I know everyone's doing a really, really good job of liking the stream. So if you haven't, though, yet, what are we at? Like,
where are we at?
19. So we're really close to 20. You guys can get me to 20. So don't forget to like the stream. Hit subscribe if you haven't already.
Look at that animation. Look at that.
Dude, free
you gotta
animation
do it
right here. It's a free animation right there, boys. So don't forget to hit, and Harry's here. Perfect.
Okay, good.
Perfect, because I need you to be here. I need you to listen to my BRICKWORLD 2024 plans. They're very important and very contingent.
They've changed, right?
They're
okay.
His message is always
back to the original question.
Lighting up.
Oh yeah, Harry with the with the messaging clout right there. Okay, back to the original question. Who are you most excited to meet? Is Harry? Are you just saying this because you're gonna be there and we're gonna meet for the first time? Do you want me to say that I'm most excited to meet you?
You haven't met him yet?
No, we haven't met in person. We've talked plenty.
He stays over there on
he's over
a different side of the
other side of the country,
the globe, if you will.
Not quite
globe. I'm trying not to dox you, Harry, but yeah, no, he's finally coming out of the woodwork to meet the community. So yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's true. Shy is West Coast too.
Shy, have you met Harry? You guys are probably.
You probably aren't that far.
Probably not. Anyways,
yes.
So who are you most excited to meet?
Oh, dang. Well, I did get to meet a lot of people last year. I guess it was last year because we're in 2024 now, which we keep messing this up. I think we've messed this up probably 5 or 6 times in our conversations of like, what year is it? But yeah, it's I think meeting so many people last year was awesome. I have to say, I think first time meeting people in person, 2 people that I've been talking to a lot and have gotten to know and I consider friends are Harry, of course. Yes, I know I've given you a hard time, but I'm excited to meet you. And then also Cole or Lego Men 360. I don't know if he's still in the chat here, but Cole, I'm very excited to meet you. It's going to be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to it. That's who I got. Oh,
let's see. So
LifeBricks wants to meet Jens. Okay. Yeah, we'll see if Jens is going to be a BRICKWORLD. I'm sure.
Lego designer?
Yeah, he's not going to be there.
Like the OG one with the glasses and the beard.
And the beard, I believe so. Yeah.
See, I'm excited to meet. Well, I said this on the ACOP podcast. I was going to talk to Tyler, but I forgot his first name, and I didn't want to.
Oh, that's right.
I want to say, "Hey, LifeBricks, good to see you,
Mr. LifeBricks."
And you could have been like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you, Jack Harlow. It's good to see you." But no, I'm excited. I don't even know if I'd call it meeting, just because like we've talked so much.
Yeah,
we've talked for hours between you, me, and him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to officially talk to you face to face, I guess is a better way of saying it.
That's meeting,
and
for real. And
then Shy as well, seeing you on the ACOP podcast, your podcast, of course, interacting with you in comments, and even you hopping in the CPA-fol.
That's right.
The therapy CPA-fol therapy episode, getting a lot of your takes on navigating the landscape of balancing our hobby with our relationship.
That was a good one. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
I liked having that and seeing, all of you more experienced guys, Caleb as well, as I'm kind of new into the marriage game. Yeah. Definitely a learning curve with that. But Shy, let's see what else.
Ostiff, looking forward to meeting you too, man.
Ostiff, are you coming?
Yeah.
He said, let's see, who did he say? Pumped to meet Tyler, Firebird, CPA, the whole ACOB crew.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. You always call it a height revealed. All right, we're doing a height reveals at BRICKWORLD Chicago 2024.
That's right.
That would be funny. I think, would Cole be at?
Cole,
he's only like 6'6". Did he say he was 6'6"?
Cole's a tall guy. He's a tall guy.
Lego Man, I think he'd be at the.
That's true.
Top of the list.
Somebody made a video about people's heights at BRICKWORLD. Was it Shy? I think it was maybe
someone made
video.
A comment about it, so I think it was Shy.
Yeah, I think it was. I remember watching that video and thinking it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, he's got me by
There you go. He's here. All right, that's good. That's good.
He's got me by an inch. Okay.
Man, you short, I guess. I
Oh,
don't know.
jeez. Not first. Oh, my goodness. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, that's right. Got to do a second one. Yeah, Shy,
That would
I
be
would love
funny.
to see that.
That would be really funny. So meeting people, of course, you said you're not making any content, which I think is smart.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it unless I have just a golden idea, which I do not have right now. So I'm not planning on content. Bringing a mock too is the other thing I'm really up in the air on, because like had a great time. I displayed with Empire Lug last year and joined Empire Lug, and meeting all of the guys in Empire Lug was a lot of fun, and they're lovely people. So that's been really good, and I would love to display with them again. But if I bring something, it's not going to be a Christophsis again, because that thing was like, the stress of bringing such a large build is real, and you're thinking about leaving your stuff out. And I haven't heard of anybody having stuff stolen from them, so it wasn't really something I was too concerned about. But you know, there's always that thought in the back of your head: is somebody going to be swiping some of my clones? Don't steal my clones, please. So yeah, that's one of those things where I could see myself maybe bringing a smaller build, maybe a smaller, slightly more detailed build. I will be bringing a very large mock to Brick Fair, Virginia. Can't talk about what it is, but it's going to be big, and it's a collaboration, and there's like a lot of people involved. And
I don't even know about this, just so you guys know. This is
so that's going to be one where I'm very excited about it. It's going to be horrible to transport, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're going to Brick Fair, Virginia, you will get to see a very big build, and I'm not going to be able to make any content on it until the build is there. So I'm going to be dropping a huge video in August for Brick Fair with a mock. Very much looking forward to that. Have to start building it soon. So yeah, that's about all I got for that.
It's not even a whip yet. It's just a
concept.
It's a concept.
I mean, it's been in planning since July of last year, so it's a decent sized project.
Exciting. So yeah, a little different on the mock, of course, for BRICKWORLD, and which is, I mean, for your mental health and your sanity, that's probably.
I mean, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be about hanging out with people and just having a good time. I'd like to actually attend some sessions this year, because there's all the different sessions that people put on. So I think that would be a lot of fun. But it's gonna be good. I'm going Tuesday all the way through to the following Monday. I'm going for 7 days. So I think it'll be good.
That's exciting. And something that we've talked about this a lot, I can guarantee won't be happening for BRICKWORLD 2024, but maybe 2025. You mentioned the panels and the seminars, if you want to call it. Content creators in the chat, would it be something you might be interested in to go to like a finance / small business accounting seminar? Because I know accounting probably wasn't all of your favorite, except Richie, if you're still hanging out. But maybe some information like that would be helpful, as some of you might be looking into doing YouTube full-time and actually having to track business expenses and all that stuff. That is very, very important. As we talked about with planning, if you're going to go out and do YouTube full-time on your own, you have to make sure you have a plan, and you're tracking and you're ensuring, all right, can I hit these metrics? Am I covering all my expenses? So hey, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, maybe next year, because definitely we'll need to prepare, be very, very, I'll have to plan myself for that. So be very prepared for something like that. But hey, let me know if it might be something to be interested in.
Yeah.
Do we have a foresight as to what any of the panels will be for this year?
I think some people are signed up, but I honestly don't know too much about it. But yeah, that'd be a fun panel. I think easy value. Yeah. Easy value, right? Yeah.
And it's a lot of it, because I know a lot of you would have accountants and CPAs that do a lot of the work for you, but learning the mechanics, of course, when you're in elementary school, they don't give you a calculator right away, because you need to know 2 + 2 = 4. You take 2, you get 4. You need to know that before you use your calculator. Of course, obviously taking that to the next level with more complex things. It's important to know the mechanics of things, so when things do go wrong, you know how to address them, how to kind of figure those stuff out. Panels, guests, mocks, we talked about those. Community, of course, if none of you know, you do, and I didn't know this until I was there, anyone has the ability to come all the days if they buy the $100 pass.
I believe it's
which
like
is
$100. Yeah.
if you want to call it the pre-order price, the early bird discount. After that, it's $135.
I think it gets up close to 200, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I don't know.
From what I remember, I think
You got to get the badge. The badge is
yeah.
the thing that you need to get, and then you get access to all of the seminar panel things and activities, and then private days. And the private days, like if you're gonna pick private versus public days, go for the private days.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yep. If you have the availability, certainly go there early, at least Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
After talking about it with Caleb and Harry and so many people, I think I'm doing Wednesday through Sunday. I think is what I'll do. So, man, very excited for BRICKWORLD 2024. And then even on the with what I'm doing for BRICKWORLD 2024, I really don't know yet because there's a lot. I don't even know what I should or shouldn't say. I'm probably not going to say much just because nothing seems to be concrete yet, but there's a lot of potential for doing some production style things, some floor casting, some live update sort of stuff. So I'm really hoping, at least for my own channel, if I don't do anything for, I don't know why it's doing that, but if I don't do anything for my own channel, or no, if I don't do anything for BRICKWORLD as a whole, I'll definitely be recording and interviewing people for my channel, probably on Friday.
Okay.
After they've already had stuff set up.
Yep.
And because I don't want to, I know the mockers can get very,
Yeah.
rightfully so annoyed.
Oh, you want it to look nice
You're trying
before
to
people
set
are
up
filming
and people
things.
are like, hey, let me just squeeze through here, or like, can you talk about this? Can you yada yada yada? So definitely want to respect everyone's space, but then also get those. If I could cut something together real quick and it still looks good, get it out Friday night. You think that would be a little too cut in early?
I don't know.
Like the people that are gonna
You
go
gotta
are
ask the
gonna
people.
go kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's still got to figure that out, but I just want to be before some other Lego YouTubers. So
I see.
there's some incentive out there to get.
It looks
them in
like
fast.
Ostef is heading out here. What do we got? Celebrating my birthday. Is anyone doing future
my
tuck
birthday or
mocks?
your ma's birthday?
My ma's birthday. All right. Happy birthday to your ma.
Future Tuck Mocks. Was that a planet?
I am not sure.
Let's see. Let me do a quick little search. Oh, Tuck Tales.
Ah,
I don't think so.
not that I'm aware of. That's the tuk set. That's different.
Oh.
That's something else.
Let's see.
Oh, Tucktails. Okay.
So
Yes,
he's that clone.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't heard of anybody planning on doing a Tucktails mock, but that would be sick. Would love to see
That
it.
would be fun. Because that was a fan film.
Yeah, it's a
was
fan
it not?
film. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And people have actually made customs of that tuck, which is pretty sweet. Much love, thank you. Hey, appreciate you, Ostef. Have a good one. Happy birthday to your ma. I'm assuming that's what you meant. But if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you too.
Happy birthday to you and your mom.
Happy birthday to both of you, regardless of when your birthdays are.
Yeah,
See you, Kennedy.
Thank you so
for stopping by. True Squadron headed out. Thank you for coming by.
Anything else? BRICKWORLD 2024? The potential is high. I'm sure as we get closer, we'll know more and more will be teased and anticipated.
I think it's going to be a big one. From the things that I've been hearing, some little behind the scenes stuff, I think it's going to be big.
Last year was big.
It's going to be bigger.
And
it's going to be bigger.
Because I felt like the momentum is just in this insane upswing, and I feel like we're not even to the halfway point.
It's
of
interesting
the
to see like it continue to go up, even though, you know, we are at a point where we're post-COVID and everything, and people are sticking with Lego, and more people are coming into Lego. Thank you for stopping by, Starmox. Good chatting with you a little bit.
Good one.
Appreciate you. It is his mom's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy 70th.
Mama Ostef. Great to see you. And yeah, we'll see
Oh,
see you
okay.
at BRICKWORLD.
Tyler with a good point here. When are we making BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids the same as Chicago? First of all, Tyler, you didn't come through to
You have to
BRICKWORLD Grand
go
Rapids.
to
You have to
BRICKWORLD.
attend. I fully expect to see you there this coming year. If you come through, you're welcome to come visit here. Come check out
we
the
could
place.
have a nice little podcast on early podcasts.
I mean, I
Friday night.
had a couple people over on I think it was the Saturday of BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids. This was a great time. BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids, I will say this, I'm gonna plug my city real quick.
Do it.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. I think a lot of people don't know about us, but we are halfway between Chicago and Detroit, and we got our first BRICKWORLD this past year. It was a blast. It's not anywhere near as big as Chicago, but I think the benefit is, are we zooming in on me here? Because I'm just going. All right. So the benefit of BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids is that we are we're a city. We got million metropolitan area here. Okay. So we're not that small. We're good. We got a decent amount of people here, and we have a really lovely convention center, but BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids is in the heart of downtown Grand Rapids. There's places to eat. There's good hotels to stay in. I live like 20-ish, 30 minutes from downtown, whatever. And so if I know you, I will invite you over. If I don't know you, I will not invite you over, okay? But I definitely think if you can make it to Grand Rapids, you should come through because it is a smaller convention, but it's so chill. Like,
it is chill.
Chicago, there's a lot to do at Chicago.
Can't walk between the aisles.
There's a lot of people to see in Chicago. There's a lot of mocks to see in Chicago. There's a lot of activities. Grand Rapids is a little bit more laid back. And so if you come through to Grand Rapids, you get to hang out, you get to chat, you get to just have a good time. And I think that's worth it. Mm-hmm. It's a good place to be at a small convention because you have the convention, but then you also have the city around the convention. So you're not just, going to, like, I haven't been to Brick Fair yet, but I know Brick Fair is like in a strip mall in like an old Walmart or something like that. That's what I've heard at least, right? So I think the thing with Grand Rapids, like the fact that we have the city around us and things to do here just makes it that much more enjoyable. So there's my plug. You can go back to both of us being on here.
There you go. Easy undo. But yeah, and I did go to that as well. I did have a CPA-fol podcast episode on the floor.
Yes, that's right.
At your booth, which was one of the highlights of 2023 for me.
That was a lot of fun.
I had you on there, Star Wars Fan Room.
That's right.
Wolf of Brick.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 awesome guests to have on that stream. So much fun. It worked. The stream worked.
It did work.
I was so worried about
you were
that.
able to get on that convention Wi-Fi. That was a key. That was very much key, right?
Yeah.
No, it was so much fun, and I feel like that's like when we really got to know each other, was hanging out for BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids. That's what did it. I mean, you stayed at my place, so that helps.
That does help a lot.
Yeah.
And he did know me, so he let me.
Yes.
You knew what?
You
knew me.
The open invitation is not for everyone to come stay at my house. I'm not providing lodging for everybody. We don't have enough space. I'm sorry.
But no, BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids. And there was a steady flow throughout the whole day.
There was actually quite a few people who came through. Like, I was genuinely surprised because it's one of these things that's interesting with Grand Rapids. We don't have an actual Lego store. We have a Bricks and Minifigs here. And the Bricks and Minifigs, they're killing it. They're doing well. I know they're doing well. They're doing good. They're doing a good job. They're offering a great thing for the community. They have fantastic stuff in stock. And so seeing that be successful and then seeing the first year of the convention do the numbers that it did was actually pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Like, they killed it. Yeah. I know that they got more. I believe they had more people come through than Mark was expecting to come through.
Yes.
And so that's a win from that side of things.
I don't know if the city... I assume it was in some bulletin somewhere, in the newspaper, wherever, because it seemed like people just like, oh, and it wasn't. I was expecting this big sign at the front of, and there was, you had to, if you didn't know where it was, man, which was still a testament to people still showed up. So whether it was word of mouth, news bulletin somewhere, Facebook, XYZ.
I know that Bricks and Minifigs was promoting it, and they definitely had some like social media ads going and stuff that helped get people in there. But yeah, BRICKWORLD, Mark, I don't know if Mark ever watches your channel, but I feel like somebody needs to relay the feedback to Mark. If you know Mark, you tell Mark that we need a big sign outside the convention center this year that just says BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids. And also, I think BrickFest Live is now booking here.
Okay.
Not good. Don't like BrickFest Live. Here's my public slander towards them.
That's his public slander.
This is my public slander.
I haven't vetted them yet myself.
No, I've actually never been to BrickFest Live. I can't say anything bad about them from my own experience. Just hearsay. This is just stuff I've seen online that it's not necessarily the best value for your money from what I've heard. So don't go to that unless you really want to.
BrickFest Live to be their brand rep. I don't want this to hurt that potential.
We're going to have to talk about things if you're trying to be their brand rep. Yeah. No, definitely come through to BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids though. It should be in like September. I know that it's far away for a lot of people, but some of you live close enough. Tyler, you come to BRICKWORLD. Yeah, let's make it happen. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a good time. I'm sure you'll come up again too. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And man, 2024, we're past the 2 hour mark, so we'll start wrapping it up. BRICKWORLD 2024, so many plans. I think for both of us, 2023 was a momentous year. I started my channel. You really nailed down and figured out what you're going to do with your channel. We both hit great strides.
Milestones,
absolutely. Yeah. Real quick, let's lay out some goals for 2024.
Okay.
I'll probably start with like subscriber goals and like view goals and.
Yeah, channel wise, I would say for me, 100K 2024.
100K subs.
100K subs. I would love to hit 100K, and I would like to make a video this year that hits 1 million views. I think that would be a huge accomplishment. I know that some of my videos from last year will likely hit 1 million views.
That was my question, differentiating between like a video posted in 2024 that hits 1 million views.
A video posted in 2024 that hits 1 million views in 2024, I think that'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, some of the content from last year will eventually get there as it continues getting that viewership. So those are big ones for me as far as like the channel viewership and the metrics and everything like that. I think also like just content wise, live streaming. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying being on other people's streams, and I'd like to do more streams on my own channel. So that's going to be a big one for me, is trying to do that more.
So for my channel, it's pretty. I'm having a tough time figure out what my metrics, what I want, what do you want to do? Goal, and because initially my thought was, all right, let me hit 2,000 subs, but I'm already at 1,400, so it's kind of like, am I pushing myself enough? If my
for the
goal
year,
is
2K
for the year,
oh, you can do better than that.
I mean, is 5K too far?
I don't think. I think you could do 5K. I think you could hit it.
With shorts subscribers, I can hit it.
That's true. You could do it with shorts.
But yeah, I mean, I think 10K minimum.
Do you got a view count goal?
A view count. So right now I'm just
I mean, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, right?
View count. I don't want, by the end of 2024, I don't want an Owl City concert to be my top 2 viewed videos. While Owl City is like, for me, it's like Owl City and Lego are both maybe a little below. I listen to Owl City music so much, so they're neck and neck as far as things I enjoy in life. So, but I do want to hit a 10,000 view video.
All right.
At least. I think a 20,000 view video is possible.
I think you can do it.
So, and it's going to come down. I think a video that I have planned is has the potential, if I do the things we talked about, if I plan, if I prepare,
script,
do all the things that we've talked about that we know we need to do. It's right there. I don't think there's a video out there. There's reviews,
sure,
but there aren't like, all right, let's talk about. We're not reviewing the set, the movements, the mechanics, the pieces. We're talking about it. And so I think it has evergreen potential as well. And of course, packaging the video and all that stuff. So I think that video could have 10 to 20,000 potential and maybe help me, get to 2,000-3,000 subs.
Would love to see it.
That kind of stuff. So I like to have at least one video that's 10 to 20K. Stretch goal being, I don't know, like 5 videos that break 10K.
All right.
I think that's doable. You've heard it here first. We're going to watch this video back next year and see if I've stuck to my goals.
That's going to be so interesting. I'm really excited to do that in a year and look back on this. It'll be quite something.
I think I might make a supercut of this of this stream just so we can, get to all the high points of the stream and be able to not have to script the whole thing.
Go through the entire scroll through it all. Yeah.
So yes, and then 5K. I'm going to hold myself to 5K. 5K subs. 10K is a little far. So
I want to see. I want to see chat's goals. I want to see people in the chat what some of their goals are too, because I think we can take a look at that and also look back on that a little bit. Maybe
we can hold you all accountable for sure.
If you're down, put it in there if you want to. But I know Tyler, we're gonna get to see if Tyler sticks to 366 uploads, which is a crazy goal.
That is a crazy goal.
I hope you can hit it. I would probably suffer. I don't know if I could do that.
Thanks for joining David and Owen. You guys, you're catching the tail end, so you'll be able to watch the replay gang for sure.
Catch the replay.
We talked about so many. I might have to retitle this video just because it's honestly like a YouTuber content creator's guide to success. I feel like it's kind of what it is. Mainly coming from you, of course.
Okay, Tyler's got the 50-50-50 goal.
Lose 50 pounds. Take that 50 and make it 50K more subs. So Tyler's got the 100K sub goal as well.
I love it.
Awesome. Kathleen, goal not to lose yourself. We're here for you. I'll have the streams every week, of course. You can always hop in, chat, and talk, of course. The community is here for everyone. That's without a community, like, man, doing anything on your own, it's not fun, and it's just really difficult. Squidman. Well, we don't want you to die.
Please don't die. Please stay with us.
Keep those 50 pounds if that's what you need.
What do we got for Ostif's got? Getting a laptop and get into mock building.
Yes. Okay. He's at a red light. He stopped. He's being safe.
Let's go.
Not texting and driving.
I like to see it. That's
get into mock building.
We're talking about getting into content making. That's great. I would love to see it. I will watch your content.
Dude, absolutely.
Shy with the 25K goal for the year. I'm excited for that. I think you're going to hit that no problem.
What's Shy at right now?
I think he's like 16 or something. I'm not sure. Let's see. Where's Shy? Shy is at 17.1K. Shy, I think you can surpass 25K. I think you can. But I think sitting on a stoop, we got to get sitting on a stoop. Going up.
Yeah.
Going up.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. How many subs was he at?
17.
17.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Keep it up, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Planning and doing the helpful tips we've shared along the way.
Owen's Bricks secret project.
Ooh.
I mean,
sounds exciting.
Accountability wise, at the end of the year, you could look back and say, I accomplished my secret project, and we'd never know. But
that's very true.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully this will be a secret project that we can see on your channel or something.
Yeah, you got to release that secret project. So
that's great.
Dude, Darth, he rarely ever says something and doesn't do it. I haven't seen him to say something and not do it.
I try to follow through.
Watch your stuff.
No need to cry.
So, all right, it's cool to see everyone's goals for the year, the sub goals. Hey, if you want to comment, comment
down below
on the live stream when it's done, your goals.
Yes.
I'll put my goals in the comment just to kind of let everyone know
I can stick mine there too.
We'll throw them. So because we want to come back to this video next year and see where did everyone land at with their goals, because I think it's important to, when you plan for something, you look back and see how you did with it and to see how that affects how you plan for the future. So, hey, that's what we had on CPA-fol podcast episode 19. Thanks so much for Caleb for hosting the podcast in this amazing quality, this amazing area, this space, the Firebird Lounge, of course.
The Firebird Lounge.
The quality, the visual and audible quality might not be as good on the next episode, but hey.
Yes, thank you for coming out. I appreciate you having me on. It's been a blast, and we always have a good conversation. Yeah. I'm surprised that we have so much to talk about, especially with talking nonstop for like the last day, just chatting about things.
We still have more. In case you guys are wondering, we still have more that we were going to talk about, but I do want to keep it to 23 and 4 stuff and then not go.
We might have to do another episode sometime to go through some of the other things here.
So very much looking forward to 2024, as I'm sure all of you are.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to 2024,
absolutely.
I'm sure. And we'll see you all next week is the plan on the CPA-fol podcast. Caleb's going to have a video in the next 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks. 2-3 weeks, yep.
So we'll definitely keep an eye out on that video. Thanks, Austin, for joining both my channel and Firebird's.
Thank you.
I think this is going to be a record stream. We've had a pretty strong 18 upper teens viewers.
Thank you guys for watching and sticking with us.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week on the CPA-fol podcast. We'll see you all hopefully at BRICKWORLD Chicago 2024. Happy New Year.